Hi everyone, Stacy here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today we're going to talk about the month of March and what energies are available to each and every one of us. Now it is eclipse season, you guys, so I can't wait to dive into this month ahead for all of us. Now, before I dive into all 12 signs, I just want to take a quick opportunity to thank each and every one of you for liking and sharing out my content and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you for doing so, and I'm sending the love back to you tenfold, so thank you for that. And if you're new here, welcome. I am so happy and grateful that you somehow stumbled across one of my YouTube channels, or YouTube videos, I should say, or my YouTube channel or my website, or whatever it is that brought you here today. I'm so grateful that you found your way here. Also, keep in mind, these are general readings. I cannot stress that enough in each and every one of my videos. So keep in mind, I do not have your personal birth chart sitting in front of me. If you would like a personal consultation, if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I'll be sure to put the link to that in the description box below. So as always with these videos, take what resonates, leave the rest. I do use Western tropical astrology, and I do use a whole sign house system with all my videos here in YouTube land. So I do encourage you to watch for your rising sign. I think that would resonate with you the most. But if you don't know your rising sign, that's okay. You can watch for your sun sign or your moon sign or any other planet placement or point that you have to pull all this information together for you for the month of March. Now, I'm just going to read off some highlights for the month of March. So just bear with me here for like 5-10 minutes, and then we'll just get into all 12 signs here. Now, I wanted to do something a little bit different this month. Yes, forgive me, you guys, this is not fancy pants. This is not, I literally just copied and pasted these and put them on the screen here. So again, I apologize, it's not fancy. But my point of this is, this month is so rare and so unique that I had to visually show you something that I was referring to and talking about. So these are the mundane transits in the larger box on the left-hand side here for the month of March. Now, obviously, this is not an exhaustive list. Like I said, I copied and pasted this from a program that I utilize for my day-to-day personal astrology, and this is the best I could do for now, you guys, to throw this together for you. Now, so many conjunctions this month. That's what I wanted to show you. Now, the conjunctions look like a little circle with a little twig sticking out of it. It almost looks like the symbol of Mars, but without Mars's hat, like without the arrowhead, basically. Now, and yeah, ignore the highlighting, you guys. Forgive me, I couldn't get rid of the highlighting, so ignore the highlighting too. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 conjunctions this month. That is really rare. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't remember the last time I've seen this in an entire month. So we have conjunctions all month long. And what I would normally say, well, what I am going to say, so first of all, I'm going to warn you, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth, because that's what the universe is doing this month. That's what the energy is this month. So I'm calling this month of new beginnings and fresh starts, but we'll get into the eclipse energy in a second here. So all of these conjunctions mean technically new beginnings. So conjunctions are neutral energy. It's when one planet comes into contact, connection with another planet from our vantage point, anyway, here on Earth. So I would normally say, wow, look at all these new beginnings, and even the sextiles. The sextiles are the little stars. That's opportunity coming in, and that's for us to take advantage of or not. Now, I think there is one square aspect missing, but anyway, I'm pretty sure there's 2 square aspects this month. But in this list, there's only one showing, from the sun to Jupiter, which is not, it's more of an indulgence or an excess. So that's on March the 2nd, something to watch out for. But again, it's the sun and Jupiter, so I'm not really concerned there. It's all these conjunctions and new beginnings and sextiles that are happening this month. So I'm going to say, lean into this. If you want to change something, if you want to, start something new and fresh, lean into this if you'd like to. But again, with that said, I'm going to talk about the eclipses now. So what I would normally do in an eclipse month ahead is say to you, without looking at these mundane transits, I'd say, okay, you guys, put it on cruise control. That's just my recommendation. Put it on cruise control. We're going to have enough to respond and react to in the month ahead with eclipse energy, because eclipse energy can bring in rapid, quick change. And again, depending on how this is impacting your personal birth chart, this might impact you personally, or you might be witnessing this in your outside social circles, within your family, within your work, colleagues, business, whatever the case may be. So that's what I would say. And I'm still recommending that this month. But again, I'm going to drive you nuts here because I'm going to talk in different angles here. So I would say no big launches, don't do anything big and crazy, don't sign your life away this month anyway. That would just be my recommendation. It's not a hard fact science, because at the end of the day, life goes on, you guys, right? Life doesn't stop when we have eclipses and retrogrades and all these things happening in the sky, right? It's just how can we best lean into the energy and respond to the things that are coming into our lives, right? So I would normally say, okay, we got enough on our plate, just respond to whatever's coming your way. But with that said, with all these conjunctions, I would say lean into that. You know, like this could be fated karmic opportunity coming in, right? Blessings coming in unsuspected or unexpected ways. So again, take that as you will, you guys. And I apologize. I know I'm talking left and right here. I know, I get it, but that's just how the universe is talking this month. So, okay, let's get into these eclipses really quick, and I'll dive into all 12 signs here. Of course, we'll talk about this as well for each and every one of you. But we're wrapping up a larger cycle this month that started in 2023 when the nodes moved into Aries and the Libra axes. So that is actually wrapping up this month. So that started, you know, well, I'm going to say all of 2023, all of 2024. We had our final Libra eclipse. It was about the first week of October 2024. And we now have our final Aries. This is a new moon partial solar eclipse, 9 degrees of Aries, and this is on March the 29th. Now, when I throw out dates, even the dates on this slide, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet. So these are approximate. I'm in Eastern time zone. So if you're in the Eastern time zone of Canada or the US, these are pretty much bang on, I would say. Okay, so we're going to talk about that, the final eclipse in Aries, wrapping up a 2-year cycle there. And then we have our first eclipse in Virgo. So the nodes of the moon moved into new territory on or around January the 11th. So the north node moved into Pisces, south node moved into Virgo. If you want to learn more about that cycle, you can check out my video in the description box below, the nodal cycles. And you can learn more about that and what that means for your respective sign over the next 2 years, because this is another brand new 2-year eclipse cycle that is starting. So we had our first Pisces eclipse back in September of 2024. I think it was around the 17th of September, and I believe it was around 25 degrees of Pisces. So that was our first one in Pisces. Now we're getting our first one in Virgo at the south node. So extra emphasis about purging, about releasing something in this area of life. So we're going to talk about that. So this one in Virgo is a full moon total lunar eclipse on March the 14th at 23 degrees of Virgo. So we will talk about that as well. And yes, you guys, another thing, going back to what I talked about not doing any big launches unless you absolutely have to. We have 2 personal planet retrogrades this month. Yes. So Mercury retrograde this month. He's actually in shadow on March the 1st, and he's officially going retrograde on March the 15th at 9 degrees of Aries. So this Mercury retrograde is happening in the early degrees of Aries, and he will be backing into the late degrees of Pisces. Now, on top of that, Venus is going to be close by as well. So Venus will officially station retrograde on March the 1st at 10 degrees of Aries, and then she'll back into the later degrees of Pisces. And I made a separate video about this as well, you guys. So the Venus retrograde for this upcoming cycle, check that out below in the description box if you want to learn more, again, about how this will impact your sign, or again, whatever you prefer to watch for, and a little bit more about Venus retrograde cycles. So those two personal planet retrogrades are in the mix. So if you do have to launch anything this month, you guys, again, life doesn't stop. I can appreciate that. The good news is you have all the outer planets supporting you. So all the big heavy hitters in the sky, I call them, they are all direct, so they're supporting you. It's just that the personal planets, things get sticky. Because again, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Mars is direct. He's finally newly direct at the end of February there, but he's still in Cancer, scratching around. He doesn't really like being in Cancer. He's uncomfortable in Cancer. And technically he's still in shadow. So at least he's direct, but he doesn't come out of shadow, I believe, until early May, which is the exact same time Venus also will be coming out of shadow. So again, if you can pump the brakes on anything big this month, you guys, do so. But again, I can't ignore all these conjunctions. You know, maybe there's a reason why you need to launch this month or sign on the dotted line or something finally moves forward in your life this month, because I can also see that happening too with the eclipses. Eclipses can bring in things extremely quick, change things on a dime, because they can also take things away just as fast, right? So that's eclipse energy. Now, the last thing I'm gonna talk about is the ingresses this month, and they are on the slide here on the right hand side in the smaller box. So Mercury is hopping into Aries on March the 3rd. We have the sun moving into Aries on or around March the 20th. Now, this is the equinox, so happy equinox to each and every one of us. And if you're in the northern hemisphere, this is the spring equinox. And if you are in the southern hemisphere, this is approximately when you begin your fall equinox. Also, this is the new astrological new year. So there's another new year this month on top of that, when the sun hits 0 degrees of Aries. That's when the astrologers celebrate, because that's technically a brand new cycle, a brand new 12-month year-long cycle that starts on or around March the 20th. Venus and Mercury are going to be hand in hand this month, very, very close, and they're both going to retrograde back into Pisces at the end of the month. And then another huge milestone, you guys, huge this month, is Neptune moving into Aries. So I know some of you are probably like, well, you know, what does that mean? So again, I made a separate video about this, so check out my Neptune moving into Aries video in the link in the description box below under Neptune transits. Just to kind of give you an idea of this, Neptune moves through a sign 12 to 15 years. He's the second slowest planet in the solar system. So Pluto is obviously the slowest. It takes him 12 to 20 years to move through a sign. Neptune's next, 12 to 15 years through a sign. He was in Pisces starting 2011-ish, 2012-ish, and then now he's wrapping up a huge long stay in the Piscean area of life and then hopping into brand new territory. He'll spend most of the time this year in Aries, and he'll retrograde back a little bit into Pisces, I believe in October, and wrapping up obviously a larger cycle, and then it's full on. He's going to be fully into Aries. And if you've been watching me for a while, I know I repeat myself, and I'm going to repeat myself. To be alive right now, you guys, I can't stress this enough, that it's incredible. Now, I can appreciate times are not easy, okay? I'm not trying to like sweep that under the rug, but I think if anything, you guys need a little bit of positivity here and some inspiration. And that's what I like bringing to the table. That's how I look at astrology. I don't like dooming and glooming it, because I don't really see the point in that. I don't really see the point in instilling fear, and I don't like being on that vibration. So I'm here to inspire and uplift you and say, hey, welcome this kind of stuff with open arms. This is a magical month ahead. And to be alive right now, we witnessed Pluto transiting from Capricorn into Aquarius. He's going to be in Aquarius for 20 years. Neptune now is hopping into Aries, and this is going to take him another, again, 15 years, 14 years to go through this sign. And then on top of it this year, we have Saturn moving into Aries. We have Uranus moving into Gemini. We have Jupiter moving into Cancer, but Jupiter does change sign every year. But even to witness Saturn and Uranus, like Saturn takes about 2.5, 3 years to move through a sign. Uranus takes about 7 years to move through a sign. But to see all this come to fruition, come to light within a couple of years, you guys, this is so rare. This is just so rare in a good way to be alive right now. And again, with Pluto transiting, 2023, he first dipped into Aquarius. Now he's permanently into Aquarius. And then now these other heavy hitters are going to follow suit and transition slowly but surely. In 2025, we're going to witness all of this within the next 6 months. So I'll definitely be here to talk about it. I've already made separate videos about this, you guys, so stay tuned. Again, subscribe if you are interested in learning more about Saturn in Aries, Uranus in Gemini, Jupiter in Cancer, and obviously Neptune in Aries as well. So check out the links below if you want to learn a little bit more. But again, the only video I have up right now is the Neptune in Aries video. And of course, Venus retrograde video, the North Node moving into Pisces, South Node moving into Virgo. So I'll release those other videos closer to when these heavy hitters transition into new territory. So do stay tuned for that. Otherwise, you guys, I think that's about it. So let's dive into all 12 signs. Hey, Aries, let's talk about this pileup and concentration of energy, not only in your sign this month, but also in Pisces, in your hidden 12th house. But before I forget, Aries, if you are celebrating a birthday this month, I want to wish you a very happy birthday and a wonderful, healthy year ahead. And Aries, if you are celebrating a birthday this month, my goodness, your solar return chart is going to have these eclipse energies in there. And on top of it, well, I guess depending on when your birthday is, but Neptune is like dangling at that 29-degree point, just getting ready to dive into your sign at the end of March. So Aries, super exciting times for you indeed. Keep in mind, if you want to learn more about Neptune transiting into your sign, check out my description box below. I have links to separate videos, my Neptune transits, North Node, South Node transits. So that's where the eclipses are going to be happening over the next 2 years. Venus retrograde in your sign, and also Mars retrograde. So I do have separate videos about that if you are interested. So, but for this month, I'm going to focus on the eclipses and also, like I said, all that concentrated energy in your sign and what does that mean? So all this pileup of energy in your hidden 12th house is going to continue to focus on, of course, before the sun touches you, Aries, because obviously when the sun touches you, 0 degrees of Aries, you're going to really feel this and you're going to get your groove back. But while he's still in your 12th house, along with Saturn, along with Neptune, along with the North Node, this is about solitude, introspection, taking a back seat, taking some time off work, working on things behind the scenes. This is about your skills, your talents, your abilities, maybe upgrading, spiritual awakenings, regular plain old awakenings, and anything to do with the hidden realm. So this could be dreamland, anything you do behind closed doors. This could be about cleaning out the closets. I have no doubt with Saturn and Neptune in here for such a long time, your closets are clean, Aries. let's just put it out there, right? I'm pretty sure your closets are like dust bunny free. So that will continue to be the theme this month. So again, if you're still kind of sludging along, also your ruler just went direct. I know that was a difficult transit for all of us, but especially you and Scorpio, because this is your ruler. So hallelujah, he is direct, but he's still scratching around at the bottom of your sky, Aries. And I know this is probably not comfortable for you. So again, continue to get the rest you need is what I was trying to get at. Continue to take a step back. Don't feel like you got to push forward with force. And I hope during the past 3 months, Aries, even beyond, you were able to kind of take some sort of break from work or whatever you do from a day-to-day basis. So whether you're working or not working, I hope you were able to rest, get some relaxation in, maybe solitude time in, and do something that you love, whether it's working on a hobby, a project, reading, exercise, whatever the case may be, Aries. So, but the good news is that should change now. Mars is now direct. Mars will continue to be in Cancer for another, let me think here, month and a bit, because he moves out of Cancer and into Leo, which will make nicer aspects to you, Aries, middle of April. So again, we have another month of Mars in your 4th house of home, family, foundation, maybe creating some tension there. Excellent energy though for renovations. You know, you probably heard me say this over and over and over and over again, so I'm going to say it again. If you're wrapping up home projects, you should start seeing some progress, some forward momentum, because again, he's direct, but excellent time to change your living space or change your living situation, or maybe even working out at home, you know, having a little, creating a space in your home for like a little gym or a little workout area or something along those lines, Aries. That's just a simple example. But anyway, back to your 1st house. So we're also going to have the final eclipse here. So you've been dealing with eclipses in your sign, Aries, and in your opposing sign of Libra in your relationship sector since 2023. So now we're wrapping up a larger cycle for you, and the eclipses are finally moving on and away from you and Libra. So this is happening on the 29th of March, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet. And again, this is a new moon. I would normally say, Aries, this is your birthday new moon, but eclipses kind of, sometimes things can go sideways. So I don't encourage you to like set intentions or do big rituals or anything like that around this time. Or as I said in the beginning of the video, if you can pump the brakes on launches, do so. But if you can't, you can't, because we have such amazing energy coming in this month with all these conjunctions happening in Pisces and your sign. So again, Aries, as I struggled with in the beginning of the video, it's like, here's some new beginnings, but they might come out sideways because of this eclipse energy. So, and then on top of that, we're wrapping up a big cycle, a bigger cycle that started in 2023, 2024, and then a new eclipse in a brand new area of life, Aries. So you catch my drift here. It's all over the map. I feel like I'm talking all over the map. That's how, I don't want to call it chaotic, but it's just going to kind of be scattered energy. So if you do have to make any big launches, just do the best you can, because that's all you can do. Just know later on down the road, you might have to retweak something, because we have Mercury retrograde, we have Venus retrograde. Yes, Mars is direct, but he's still in shadow, and he's not in the best position sitting at the bottom of your sky, making square angles to you, Aries. So you got to do what you got to do though. Okay. Do the best you can do, and just know later on down the road, you got to do some tweaks, adjustments, whatever. But all these conjunctions and blessings that are happening in that 12th house that I described, and your 1st house, the house of you. So this is all about you, Aries, your physical appearance, your identity. This could have something to do with health or health of the body or health routines or regimes. This is your approach to life. So if this is your rising sign, this is how you present yourself to the world, how the world sees you. It's kind of like first impressions. And also it's the glasses or the lenses that you wear to how you see other people, to the planet, the world, your existence, your reality, your bubble, whatever you want to call it, Aries. But anything that happens in the 1st house, as I always say, it ripples out to all areas of life. So Aries, this could really bring in any sort of change or final culmination point. This is a new moon though. So I'm thinking this is like a new beginning, but an ending at the same time. And I know that sounds strange, but that's what eclipses could literally bring in. Plus we're wrapping up a bigger cycle for you. So this could bleed out to your relationships, whether in business or in love. This could have something to do with the career sector, work, retirement. You as a parent could be changing. Your parents, something to do with your parental situation, or authority figures could be changing in your life. Like meaning your parents could just be going through some change is what I'm talking about. Or this could come out in your home sector, like I mentioned with Mars down there. So moving home, buying, selling, renovating, renting, whatever the case may be, shuffling in the home front, whoever you live with. This eclipse could really impact any area of life, Aries, because again, this is hitting you directly. Now, if you have anything around 9 degrees, this is just going to add that additional layer. Aries. So if it's your sun, this is about your career or father-like figures in your life, or it could have something to do with your health. If it's your moon, again, it's something to do with the home front or mother, female figures in your life. And if it's your rising sign, again, this could be relationship related, business, contracts, agreements, negotiations. So new offers coming in or contracts wrapping up or contractual agreements wrapping up or something to do with marital relationships. Or you, again, rising sign is also the health and well-being of our physical beings, of our physical structures of our body as well, Aries. Now, shuffling over to this full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo. Now, this is the very first one. Our last one was Pisces back in September of 2024. Now, this is the first one in Virgo, but this is at the South Node. And this is a release point. So the South Node is kind of like a karmic release point or an ending, which meshes well, because usually I would say full moons are, well, they're a culmination point, they're an ending. Aries. And again, brand new area of life, and this is hitting your 12th house, 6th house axis. So I described the 12th house earlier, so it could be related to one of those things I rambled off earlier about, you know, anything hidden behind the scenes, solitude, spirituality, awakenings, skills, talents, abilities, anything that you're working on behind the scenes, or anything hidden, whether, you know, subconscious or conscious, Aries, that you're hiding behind the scenes. I'm not accusing, by the way, that's why I'm giggling here. I'm thinking of like romantic things that you're trying to keep hidden or something like that, Aries. Obviously, that's not for all of you, but anyway, that's what came to mind. So it could have something to do with your 12th house because full moons light up the entire axis, but the eclipse is hitting your 6th house. So what is the 6th house? Another very busy house. Day-to-day duty, work, responsibility. Again, your health and well-being, your fitness, your diet. Yes, I know I'm repeating myself, but that's what these houses represent, the 1st house and the 6th house. This is how you're taking care of yourself. This is also the house of pets and animals, so they might need some extra attention this month, or you might get a new pet this month. That could be a possibility too. This is your habits, your routines. Something is definitely going to change, if not this month, Aries, possibly in the next couple years. Again, this is a 2-year cycle where the eclipses are going to slowly nudge us, move us on to possibly a new path or change it up in this area of life. 6th house is also like the workplace, Aries. So whether you are working or not, if you're not working, by the way, how are you being of service? This is the house of being of service. So this could be, again, focus on letting go of something here so you can transition into something different. So again, apply that to your circumstance. But at the end of the day, this is how are you being of service to your local town, city, state, the collective, humanitarian efforts, again, animals, service to animals, pets, whatever the case may be. But Aries, for those of you working, this is the workplace. This is people that you work with. So again, think of changes. I'm thinking of people exiting. This could be bosses exiting. This could be you exiting, Aries. If you own a business, run a business, and have people work for you, people might shuffle out this month or again, 6 months after. Eclipses are not about the day or the month. It could be 2 months prior to or 6 months after these dates that change comes in. I actually forgot to say that in the beginning of my video. But so if you're saying to yourself, well, nothing happened around these days, well, give it some time, because sometimes it takes a while, right, for shuffling to happen, especially in a workplace. So if you're a boss, an owner, a manager, people might be shuffling around. Maybe you're hiring people in, there's people going out. Again, contracts, agreements, negotiations, shuffling there. This is also the atmosphere, the environment of the workplace. This is also the house of rental properties, Aries, if that resonates with you. But this is something to do with duty and responsibility that you need to let go of, that you need to release, because the 6th house is very heavy, very, very heavy house, kind of similar feeling to the 3rd house, just very, very busy. And the nice thing is, though, Aries, this is the release point. So you can finally let something go either this year or again, maybe next year, because this is a 2-year cycle, just like what we talked about with you and Libra, just going through a 2-year cycle. Now it's just a new area of life that these eclipses are working on us for. Otherwise, Aries, that's about it that I was going to focus on in these particular videos. Like I said, if you want to check out more information, check out my other links below in the description box, because Venus is still in your sign, and wherever Venus goes, she attracts in love, money, beauty, benefits, harmony. But she is going retrograde, and same with Mercury. So I have a feeling in particular this Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde is extra important for you, because again, it's in that first house that we talked about. So Aries, reassessing the mind, how you communicate, how you digest information, possibly even how you get around. So this might be something to do with transportation or technology, or educational pursuits, whether you're learning something new or you're like a teacher, a mentor, a coach. That's going to be up for some reassessment. And then Venus represents love and money, basically, and beauty. For example, you would be one of the signs where I would avoid any crazy drastic beauty enhancements over the next several months. I would wait till Venus is direct, but you do you. The only reason why I say that is because things could look different on the other side once she goes direct. Same with relationships, Aries. If you're getting into a brand new relationship, especially this month, I would just recommend to go slow, because again, the person might look different when Venus goes direct. But again, she's going back and forth here for a reason. But the nice thing is she's in your sign, Aries. So she's going to attract in the clientele that you need, the business that you need. You're going to look very attractive to like bosses and managers. If you work for an employer, I'm going to throw it out there. Maybe not a bad time to ask for a raise, and then give them time to think about it while she's going retrograde, and then follow up with them when she goes direct again. Not a bad time to maybe raise your rates if you are a business owner, Aries. So just to kind of give you some examples there. But again, you're reassessing love, money, relationships, how you relate one-on-one to people, and also work. Venus is also a work planet, and something to do with your skills, your talents, your abilities, your value system could be going through some reassessments. And also, oh, I had it at the tip of my tongue. Material possessions. There we go. So same thing with material possessions, Aries. If you can rein in the spending, great. It depends on your means, depends on, you know, again, I'm not here to preach and be a grandma here, but kind of rein in the spending, especially when she goes retrograde, because we might want to spend a lot of money, especially you'll want to spend money on you, Aries, because all this concentration of energy is in your sign. So I'm going to say you're one of the signs. This is a very important month for you, very important retrogrades that are happening in your sign specifically. So pay attention to what happens this month. You might be going over old ground over the next several months here once Mercury and Venus goes direct. Otherwise, Aries, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll talk to you, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Taurus, let's talk about the month ahead for you and where the focus or concentration of energy is going to be. So let's talk about this loaded 12th house, because that's obviously going to be some of the focus. Now, the sun is still wrapping up in Pisces though when we start the month ahead. So 11th house is all about friendship circles, groups, people that we hang out with. Also your role, Taurus, in these groups, these fellowships, these unions, these professional associations, or again, just good old fashioned friendship circles, Taurus. That's where some of your focus, I'm going to say, will be connecting with these people, connecting from people that you haven't seen for a while, or the past, or the workplace, or humanitarian efforts might be in focus. Also, your long-term commitments, goals, wishes, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. This is also the house of the future, Taurus. So that could be some of the focus this month. But yes, my eye immediately goes to your heavy, heavy, heavy 12th house. So once the sun moves into Aries, it's going to join the party there with Venus, with Mercury, with the new moon, aka the eclipse. So that's what I want to concentrate on in this video. Now, Taurus, this is interesting to have in the 12th house, because the 12th house is very hidden. It's like cleaning out the closets. And I have no doubt, you know, the eclipses have been doing that for you over the past 2 years, because we are wrapping up a 2-year cycle in these respective areas of life, Taurus. So your hidden 12th house and your 6th house of Libra has been activated over the last 2 years, since 2023. And the 12th house is all about preparing for a brand new cycle. This is about launching something or working on something behind the scenes on your own or with a small group of people. This is kind of a focus and a concentration point of endings, of letting go, of purging, again, cleaning out the closets, getting rid of things, getting rid of old things that you just, now this could be physical things, or this could be spiritual, mental, emotional, psychological, anything you can think of is in the 12th house. It could be conscious or unconscious. Again, it could be hidden, or it could be something that was hidden and it comes to light. So again, this is like a purge. The 12th house, I always think of kind of like the purge, not literally like those movies. That's what popped into my mind, but just releasing things that you don't want to carry any longer into this brand new cycle. 12th house is also about reflecting on where is your time, your energy, your efforts, your love being spent, and who is it being spent on, for example. This is also awakenings. The 12th house could be, again, spiritual awakenings or just awakenings in general. This can be sometimes dark night of the soul and then awakenings over and over again, depending on how long of a transit it is. But I mean, you do have a lot of packed, concentrated energy in there. And again, these retrogrades with Mercury and Venus going back and forth in this area of life, dipping into your 11th and then coming back into your 12th and vice versa. Again, there's something here that they're asking you to revisit. This could be something to do with communication, how you communicate, the mind, the mindset, how you're talking to yourself, Taurus. Again, how are you talking to yourself behind closed doors, in the mirror? How do you chew on information? How do you digest information? This could be something to do with educational pursuits. This could be about redoing a course or going back over old ground. And with Venus retrograde, this is about love and money. So again, reassessing your relationship to money, reassessing your love relationships. If anybody new comes in at this time, Taurus, I would just recommend to go slow. Again, check out my videos below. I have separate videos about Neptune moving into Aries, Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, the North Node moving into Pisces, and the South Node moving into Virgo. So I'm not going to cover all of that off in the March video because I did make separate videos about those below. But again, I'm just touching on and giving you some things to think about over these retrogrades, because clearly with Mercury and Venus hand in hand, there's a reason for this. So people, places, things coming back from the past, Taurus, or for you, you could be visiting the past. And quite literally, the 12th house could also be about the past. That's the 4th house too. But this could be something coming back around. I mean, the eclipse could also bring in something like that as well. But this should be the finale. This should be between now and 6 months from now. This should be fully wrapped up. Your 12th house and your 6th house matters that you've been dealing with over the past 2 years should be wrapped up, if not this month, over the next 6 months or so. And some of you, this might have already happened, because eclipse energy is really unique and special. Eclipses we can feel 2 months before. So things can happen 2 months prior to these dates and 6 months after these dates. So it's not so much about the days, but it can be. This is where your personal birth chart comes in and how these are aspecting your personal planets or points, Taurus. So with that said, again, we have this new moon. I would normally say plant your seeds of intention, but I don't recommend that this month. Just, again, put it on cruise control if you can. See what comes your way, because I think you're going to have enough to respond to, react to, and work through, Taurus, because with all this heavy energy in the 12th, this is about you. And like I mentioned, it could be psychological, it could be unconscious or conscious. I don't know. You're going to have to, it'll depend. And then with the retrograde, things coming back around, things that you need to reassess, especially new love or new money. Venus is your planet. I forgot to mention that, Taurus. Venus is your planet, so you'll feel this retrograde the most, and it just means that this retrograde is really important for you and Libra, because both of you are ruled by Venus, and again, she's trying to bring something to light. A simple example also would be baggage from the past when it comes to love relationships, or again, it could be about educational pursuits as well with Mercury here. Letting something go, releasing a person, a human person that you were connected to in the past. Let them go once and for all. So you can open yourself up again to new love, as an example. Venus is also your work planet. She's also the planet for you in particular of being of service. So it could be about, how do you want to be of service? Do you want to change that? How do you want to relook at that, Taurus? So just some examples to think about. And then I want to talk about the full moon eclipse. This is our very first one in Virgo. Now this one though is making harmonious aspects to your planet's placements or points, Taurus. So if you have anything around 23 degrees of Taurus, this full moon will impact you personally. So if it's your sun, it could be an ending or a culmination point or a next chapter in your career, or something to do with your health and well-being and your vitality, like a breakthrough with your health, for example, or finally getting some traction with your health, or finding the right practitioner. This could also be about father figures. So the sun sign represents our father figures as well, or male figures in our lives. If it's your moon sign, this is about home, family, foundation. So this could be about a child, a family member, place of living. This is also the emotional body. So if it is your moon sign, you're going to have a lot of emotions come up this month. So I'm not dooming and glooming it. It just means that it's coming up for a reason. So please reach out to practitioners, healers, naturopathic doctors, whoever you need to reach out to lean on for support. Because if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel emotionally like it's too much, please reach out, Taurus, and get some help. That's not for all of you though. If it's your rising sign, this could be about a relationship, a contractual agreement, a marital relationship. This could be, again, work or business, or love, either or, depending on what you're watching for. Rising sign, again, this is about you. This is your identity. This is the health and well-being of the body. It's how you rise to the occasion, Taurus, and it's how people see you. It's kind of like first impression. So there could be something changing there as well, Taurus. And I know I rambled off a lot of information, but again, it just depends on what you're watching for. Okay, so now let's talk about the fifth house. So this is a release point. This is where the South Node's going to be transiting for about 1.5 years, Taurus. So there's something here you got to release so you can welcome in something new upstairs in your 11th house of friendship circles. So the fifth house is about children. If you do have children, now I'm not saying you got to cut ties with your kids and be like, see you later, and kick them out. It just means that maybe your relationship to your child needs to change over the next whatever cycle. It's going to change in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe they'll leave the nest and you'll be an empty nester in the next couple of years. So that's going to change not only you and your love partnership relationship or marriage or whatever. It's kind of like, what next? I'm hearing, like, for those of you with empty nesters, it's kind of like, okay, what next, right? And figuring that out with your partnership. Maybe it could be about rekindling that flame. Again, the fifth house is also about romance and dating and sexuality and keeping it light. It's a very playful energy, the fifth house, but there's something here you need to let go of. So another example that I'm thinking of is maybe it's time to get serious, Taurus. Maybe you've been dating someone for quite some time and now it's time to let go of the fluffy bunny romance and all that fun jazz, you know, when you just start dating someone. Maybe it's time to get more serious. I'm going to just throw it out there. I'm not saying this is for everyone, but it's a possibility. Fifth house is also about, sorry, I forgot to mention also grandchildren are in this area. So children, grandchildren. So apply this to your situation. Creativity, self-expression, hobbies is in the fifth house as well. So maybe it's time to release a hobby, let a hobby go. And again, so you can take on something new, some new creative endeavor or project. Or again, the next steps in something to do it. Maybe it's time to like get it out there or monetize it or just move it along in some way, shape, or form. It's like, okay, let's get the wheels on the bus here. Let's get rolling when it comes to creative projects and endeavors. It's like almost like becoming vulnerable, Taurus, and putting it out there to a bigger collective in that 11th house. That's like reaching a higher, wider audience, because again, that's social media, that's the internet, that's connecting with like-minded people. Or again, maybe you have a great idea and it's time to tell the world about it. It's time to start finding your tribe and connecting with like-minded people instead of just creating these things solo in your garage or in your basement and just kind of like they're just collecting dust, right? That's kind of what they're showing me. So obviously not for everyone. This is also the house of drama, joy, fertility, gambling. And as I mentioned, this is the house that they ask you when you're a young kid, what do you want to do the rest of your life? You know, so maybe again, something's got to change about your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. Fertility, for those of you looking to get pregnant, maybe it's time to, if you are struggling to get pregnant, first of all, this could go either way. This could be quick pregnancies because it's an eclipse, but it's at the south node. So for those of you that are trying to get pregnant and you're having difficulty, look for alternative methods. That's where eclipses are going to help you, not hinder you. Because again, if you're doing the same old thing, get off the hamster wheel and try something new. So again, apply that to your circumstance. Same with birthing something new up here, upstairs, right? Again, get it out of your head, get it onto paper. This is about taking the next step with whatever you want to do, basically. So this is an ending. This is a culmination point. It is a full moon, but again, it's an eclipse. So it could be endings and new beginnings. And like I talked about in the beginning of the video, we have such incredible new energy coming in this month. It's tough for me to say, put it on cruise control and just like see what happens. So I'll leave it up to you, Taurus. If you want to take advantage of any opportunities that come your way this month, just if you got to launch anything, just do your best, Taurus. That's all you can do, right? That's all we can do as humans. And it just means later on down the road, there might be some adjustments. Because again, Mercury's retrograde, Venus is retrograde. It can kind of get sticky. Mars is direct and he is making nice aspects to you, but he's still in shadow, but at least he's direct. And all the heavy hitters in the sky are also direct. Plus we have Neptune plunging into brand new territory this month too. So again, check out that video below if you're interested in learning a little bit more about that, Taurus. But all in all, like I said, I know I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but it's you do you this month, Taurus. You lean into what feels right, or you step away from what you need to step away from. And you take a break. Like Taurus, if you haven't yet taken a break, if I did not say that already, a loaded 12th house tells me get the rest you need, focus on sleep. This could be focused on dreamland, past life regressions, magic, solitude, taking just a bloody break and healing, like healing on a mental, physical, emotional, psychological level, whatever resonates with you. Because you're going to need it, I think, Taurus. There's a reason why there's a pile up here. So clearly, if you're not slowing down, they're also telling me you might be kind of forced to slow down, but in a good way, they're saying, in a really good way. Because you're going to find the right people you need to kind of draw onto your path to heal you in however that resonates with you, Taurus. So take a break if you need a break this month, my friends. And this will continue on into April as well, until the sun lights up you from the inside out, Taurus, which we will definitely chat about next month. So enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Gemini, let's talk about this concentration of energy and where I think your focus is going to be this month. And of course, we're going to cover off the eclipses as well. So just a reminder, in case I don't say it, if you want to learn more about this brand new eclipse cycle in Virgo and Pisces, if you want to learn more about Neptune diving into Aries, if you want to learn more about the Venus retrograde or the Mars retrograde, which we're out of right now, but he is still in shadow, and it's technically a 6-month transit that Mars has been scratching around in our Cancer and Leo houses. So Gemini, if you want to learn anything more about those things I just rambled off, check out my links below, because I just won't have time to review everything in this video. That's why I made separate videos. So the sun is still upstairs in your 10th house, Gemini, putting a focus on work or whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. So if you're retired, then this is like focus on retirement, focus on whatever you're focusing on, how you're being of service, whether you're a dog walker, you volunteer, humanitarian efforts, whatever the case may be, or maybe trying to get your health back on track. Whatever your goals and ambitions are, Gemini, that's going to continue to be the focus this month. Also, if you're a parent, this is lighting up the parental access as well. So mom, dad, authority figures, you as a parent, bosses, people in high positions, whatever the case may be. Again, maybe you're a boss, Gemini, so you could be in the spotlight this month as well. Now, once the sun moves into Aries, you have this big conglomerate of energy in Aries, which is pouring opportunities into your Gemini house. So I hope you watched the beginning of the video where I explained, yeah, I'm going to be talking out of both sides of my mouth. It's kind of like just have a wait and see mentality this month. But also, if you want, take advantage of new beginnings this month, because we have so many pile-ups of conjunctions, Gemini, and this is happening in a public area of life for you, like the top of your sky. So this could be about business, career, clients, entrepreneurship, whatever you're trying to get out there, Gemini, or maybe you're just trying to get the hell out of a job. I don't know, but that's why it's tough for me to say, no, don't do anything this month. No, we have conjunctions, we got eclipses, like something's got to give this month. That's just my opinion though. And it depends on how, this is where your personal birth chart comes in, Gemini. How is these angles aspecting you directly? So let me get back to the 11th house there. I went on a rant there. So the 11th house focus this month, I'm guessing will start this month for you, because we got Venus in here, we got Mercury, retrograde, back and forth here. Again, diving into even your career sector. So there could be reassessments on the career front, reassessments on educational pursuits, reassessments on your skills, your talents, your abilities, maybe how to monetize them, maybe upgrading or going back to a course that you didn't finish or didn't complete or didn't do. You purchased it, but no time, right? Jupiter is now direct in your sign, so you'll be able to kind of pick up that momentum again. Venus retrograde, this is about love. This is about reassessing, especially new love or new hobbies, creative projects, creative endeavors, romance, dating, things like that could be up for some reassessment as well, Gemini. Any new love that comes in this month, I would recommend to take it slow. That would just be my recommendation, because once she goes direct, this person might look a little bit different. Or again, Venus also rules your house of hobbies and entertainment and gambling. So again, don't bet the farm, Gemini. Don't sign your life away this month. That would be just my recommendation. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but Mercury's retrograde and Venus is retrograde. So don't bet the farm just yet, Gemini. And go slow this month. You're one of the signs that wants to go, especially with Jupiter in your sign. You're like, blah, 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 you know, like I have no doubt that scattered energy is going to start picking up now with Jupiter in there expanding you. So I'm giving you permission to slow down. But if you don't want to slow down, that's okay too. I totally appreciate it. We've had enough slow down energy with Mars going retrograde. 11th house is also about friendship circles, professional associations, unions, people that you surround yourself with, your role in these groups as well. This is also the house of older siblings, actually. So if you do have an older sibling, there might be some changes in their life. This is the house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, social media, the future, technology. It's basically anything that lights you up and supports you. Now, with all that said, you have a final eclipse here that's happening on or around the 29th, depending on where you are on the planet. So this is technically a new beginning, but with eclipses, you don't know what you're going to get. It could be like a new beginning and an ending at the same time, because that's what eclipses do. They can take something away or and or replace something immediately, you know, or vice versa. Something gets replaced in your life, so then something's got to go, right? So eclipse energy could go either way. So keep that in mind. And again, this new beginning, this wrapping up a larger 2-year cycle is happening upstairs in your 11th house that I just rambled off there. So again, think back to 2023 to now. This is how long this cycle has been activated and going on, and this is closing out now. This is closing out, but keep in mind this might have already happened. For some of you, maybe this already happened, or this is going to happen in the next 6 months. So again, it depends. This energy is not predictive as to exactly when it's going to manifest, unless I was looking at your birth chart, but it could manifest early or later on, or this month. So just keep that in mind. Now, the brand new eclipse cycle that we're coming into, we have a very first eclipse in Virgo and Gemini. This is impacting all the mutable signs very greatly, because now you and Sag and Virgo and Pisces are all being asked to change multiple areas of life, because anything that happens on these big angular cusps, that can literally create upheaval and change, and dare I say chaos, but we all need a little bit of chaos sometimes to get us out of a rut. It's the only way to get out of a rut sometimes. It's time to change your life. It's time to change your circumstances, Gemini. So this eclipse in particular, though, is in your 4th house of home, family, your living space, your living situation, whoever you live with. This is about how you are also taking care of yourself and your property, if you do have property. This is about the past, maybe the past coming back around, Gemini, in some way, shape, or form. Also, yeah, with Venus and Mercury retrograde, definitely people, places, things coming back from the past, if I did not already say that. And old loves coming back from the past, possibly. I'm just going to throw that out there. But anyway, back to your 4th house. This could be highlighting the past or something coming back around for you to deal with or integrate into your life in some way, shape, or form. This is about retirement or saving for retirement, if that resonates with you. This is also a parental access. So this is mom, dad, authority figures. They could be going through some change this month, this year, or next year. Because again, this is an eclipse cycle that might not be about this month, but it's going to slowly nudge you along, or your parents along, or you as a parent, if you are a parent, Gemini. So there could be some changes with their lives, in your lives, a boss's life, or if you are a boss, Gemini, there could be some changes with the business or the people that work with you or for you. And because this is a full moon and technically it's shining a spotlight on both axes, this could bleed out into your career, which we talked about. So status, career, reputation, your place of work, if you're the boss or somebody else is the boss, or if you own a business, run a business, there could be some changes, again, this month, this year, or next year, because it depends on how this energy is going to play out. Now, if you have anything around 23 degrees of Gemini, or 9 degrees of Gemini, you will feel these eclipses. You will definitely feel these eclipses. If it's your sun sign, this is something to do with your career. Again, endings or new beginnings, either or, I don't know. Eclipses are wild cards, just like Gemini, just like Uranus, who's coming into your sign in July of this year. So buckle up, Gemini. Not in a scary way, by the way, in a good way. But this could impact your career, father figures or father-like figures in your life. If it's your moon, this could be something to do with home, family, foundation, like what we talked about, or mother figures in your life. If it's your rising sign, this is your identity. Or again, connected with something to do with career, place of work. What do you identify with, Gemini? This is the rising. So it's like, what are you known for? How people see you. It's the lens, the glasses we wear of how we view the planet, the world, the circumstances that we are in. So Gemini, that is about it that I wanted to talk about this month. Like I said, if you wanted to learn more about all these retrogrades and Mars and Venus and Neptune diving into new territory and the eclipse cycle, check out all those videos in my description box below. Otherwise, Gemini, enjoy the month ahead. Oh, and if I did not mention, if you got to do launches this month, you got to do launches. I can't remember if I said that or not. You got to do what you got to do, Gemini, you know? So like I said, mixed bag this month. I would say lean into those new opportunities, but you got to feel it. It shouldn't feel forced. You should feel gravitated towards it. So any sort of new beginnings or new opportunities that land in your lap this month, feel them out. Go slow, like I mentioned, and you do you, because I don't want to tell you to put it on cruise control and not take advantage of these opportunities, because it could be opportunities of a lifetime, you know, or opportunities coming back around from the past, or benefits and opportunities coming in from your social circles, groups, people that you hang out with, unions, professional associations, you name it, Gemini. So feel it out this month. You do you. But otherwise, a wonderful month ahead, Gemini, and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey, Cancer, let's talk about this concentration of energy at the top of your sky. So let's start with the sun is still in the sign of Pisces. Now, this is flowing really nice, harmonious energy into your planets, placements, points this month, Cancer, but that is wrapping up once the sun moves into Aries. So ninth house could have been about long distance traveling for you, or educational pursuits, or learning something new, or something to do with religion or spirituality, or reaching a higher, wider audience. So if you own a business, run a business, this is kind of like stretching out your boundaries a little bit and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, or something to do with international matters or international connections could have been highlighted in some way, shape, or form. Now, once the sun moves into this loaded 10th house, you got a ton of energy in here, Cancer. Now, all this energy, I'm going to be honest with you, is squaring your planets, placements, points. So Cancer, if you don't move or pivot this month or channel this energy into something, I don't mean literal move, by the way, like it just means it's going to light a fire under your bum to maybe do something with this energy. Plus on top of it, you still have Mars in your sign. At least he's direct now. So I'm hoping you can kind of channel and utilize this energy a little bit better versus it being kind of pent up, but do it gently, Cancer. You know, if you're not an athlete, just kind of take it easy, but do move your body. Get this energy out of your body. Exercise and taking care of yourself is going to be very important as well, to kind of move this energy out of you, or sweat it out of you, or, you know, so I'm thinking of saunas, hot tubs, you know, hot baths, hot showers, things like that, Cancer. So it's going to make you pivot and move. And this is in a very public area of your sky. So this is in the 10th house. So for those of you that are working, this is about your status, your reputation, your career. Now, if you're not working, this is about the legacy you want to leave behind, the people that you're helping out. You as a parent, Cancer, could really be highlighted during this transit. And keep in mind, we also have Venus retrograde up here and Mercury retrograde up here. And again, they're squaring your planets, placements, points. So what is a square? A square is taking action on something or someone. Again, people, places, things coming in, and you responding, you reacting to them, you changing your circumstances or helping them out, pivoting on a dime, things like that, Cancer, could be coming in for you this month. So it actually could be quite a busy public month. Again, apply this to your situation, whether you're working or not working, because at the end of the day, if you're not working, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis? How are you being of service? Is it your kids, your grandkids, volunteering, getting into some sort of, this is Aries after all. So that's why I'm kind of leaning on exercise routines or regimes. Excellent time, by the way, Cancer, to kind of get into that and create a habit, a good exercise habit or routine, building muscle, taking care of yourself. That would be an excellent way to kind of channel this energy as well. But for those of you that are looking to change careers or start a new career, or gain new clients or advertise or put yourself out there, this could be the month either to start to brush up that resume and start applying, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's pretty hard for me to say don't start anything new because eclipses are here, but I can see this as being blessings and fated events coming in on purpose. Like all these conjunctions are extremely rare, Cancer. So I'm going to say you got to just feel it in your body and lean into it. I mean, I do recommend leaning into anything new, but to go slow. Again, Venus retrograde and Venus and Mercury retrograde at the top of your sky. You know, you really got to double, triple check anything that you're signing. So if you are signing on the dotted line with a new offer or a new contractual agreement, just make sure you understand what you're signing for. Now, Venus does rule the bottom of your sky, so this could be about home, family, foundation for you as well, Cancer. Again, mixing that work-life balance could be really coming into focus for you this month as well. So again, if you're signing on the dotted line, a new lease agreement, a new rental agreement, a new home, buying, selling, just go slow. That would be my recommendation, just because with these planets retrograde, they can make things sticky and just things, we miss things, especially with Mercury retrograde ruling paperwork. So again, not the end of the world, because it is what it is, that we can't stop life when these retrogrades happen and when eclipses happen. It's just that if it's all happening at the same time, I look at this as kind of like miracles and blessings coming in very unusual ways, Cancer. So I would recommend to be open to it. But again, you got to feel it. It's got to feel natural. It's got to feel good in your body, and it shouldn't feel bad or forced. And if you got a gut feeling, you got a gut feeling. Ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't hesitate to tell your new employer or that client or some sort of proposal like, hey, can I take this away for a day and think about it or sleep on it or whatever the case may be, Cancer. So you do you. I don't want to preach about it, but yeah, you do you, because it could be a mixed bag this month. It really could be a mixed bag. Okay, so speaking of the top of your sky, we're wrapping up a 2-year cycle, Cancer, that's been going on since 2023. Down in the bottom of your sky, home, family, moving, your place of living. Again, whether you rent or own your own home, your family, whoever you're associated with, the past, mother, father, authority figures, you as a parent, you as a mother or father or authority figure or boss. That and your career, of course, has been kind of up for some changes over the past 2 years. So that cycle is actually wrapping up, which is good news for you, because all of the cardinal signs have been greatly impacted by this cycle over the past 2 years, because again, these eclipses have been challenging all of you. So you, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra, to push yourself outside of your comfort zones and really lean into new change in these respective areas of life, Cancer. And this really could have impacted all areas of life. You, your physical body, your relationships, all walks of life relationships, love, business, friendships, your career, your status, your reputation, you as a parent, home, family, moving, living circumstances could have all came up for some change and review and revision over the past 2 years. So that cycle is now wrapping up with the final eclipse here in Aries, and that's happening on March the 29th. Now this is a new moon, so it could be a new beginning, but it could also be an ending, like a culmination point, because that's what eclipses do. They bring in new energy and they take out energy just as fast, like blink of an eye. So this might have already happened to you, Cancer. This might happen this month or 6 months from now. So just keep that in mind. Eclipse energy is not about the day or the month. It's technically about the entire cycle, or again, 6 months after, 2 months before, so to speak. So that's the top of your sky. So there could be a lot of changes there. Now, this brand new cycle that we're moving into, that we're leaning into, is the Piscean Virgo areas of life for you, Cancer. And the nice thing is these are making really nice aspects to you now over the next couple years. It doesn't mean, I don't want to make it sound like it's going to be easy, but it's just new areas of life that are going to be in focus, Cancer. Now, this brand new, this is a full moon, so this could be an ending, a culmination point, a completion, or a next chapter Or this could be a new beginning. I'm going to throw it out there as a possibility because you just never know with eclipses. But I'm thinking this is a purge, this is a letting go, this is a release point in your third house. So Cancer, this could be about a transportation matter, how you get around. This could be about, so that could be it for some change, basically. Third house is also about the mind, communication, how you communicate, how you digest information. This could be about education, learning something new or teaching something new if you are an educator or a teacher or a professor. Again, this is letting go. Something could be changing here. This is about siblings, Cancer. So there could be some changes in a sibling's life. Again, whether it's this month, this year, next year, this is a bigger cycle that's going to be taking place. Third house is also about cousins, neighbors, relatives, extended family members as well. So maybe lots of change in your community, period. Or maybe you're going to get a whole group of new neighbors, Cancer. Maybe everybody ups and leaves the neighborhood and then you're like, oh, okay, I get all new neighbors. That could be a possibility too over the next 2 years or so. This is also the house of social media, the internet, and a focus on short distance traveling, like how you get around your local environment, local community could be up for some change over the next, again, could happen this month or several months from now, Cancer. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of the areas of life that could be up for some pivots, some change, some endings, some new beginnings. And again, I do encourage you to lean into that if you feel called to do so. Love relationships are going to be up for some reassessments this month with Venus going retrograde, how you relate to love, money, friends even, because Venus does rule your 11th house, Cancer. And again, something to do with the home front. So mother, father, authority figures, you as a parent, your kids, your living situation, your living circumstances. If you're reassessing something in that area, that could be also coming up over the next couple months as well. So Cancer, that is about it. Again, if you want to learn more about all these other transits that are happening right now, check them out in the description box below, because yes, if I covered all of them in this video, it would be way too long and it would be boring, I'm sure. So I split them out into different videos to kind of keep it a little bit fresh and to just focus in more on those respective energies that are coming in. But otherwise, Cancer, yeah, an incredible month ahead. Take advantage of that change if it feels right. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Just, you know, not a bad month either to try to take a step back and just see what happens. Because I think you'll also be responding to a lot of action on the career front as well. Or if it's not the career, it could be something to do with home, family, and foundation, or people at a distance as well, Cancer. So enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in April. Bye for now. Hey Leo, let's talk about this concentration of energy in your houses of Aries and Pisces. And of course, we're going to break down this new eclipse cycle as well, or at least the eclipse that's happening this month. So with that said, Leo, if you want to learn more about the Venus retrograde, the big transit of Neptune diving into Aries, and this brand new eclipse cycle that we are coming into with the North Node being in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, check out all of my links in the description box below, because I kind of broke those out to different videos to just make sure I cover off, or try to cover off, every angle versus trying to squeeze them all in my monthly videos here. So at least they stand the test of time on their own, because Neptune at the end of the day is going to be in Aries for approximately 14 years. So I wanted to make sure I made a special video about Neptune and what that could mean for each and every one of us. So Leo, let's first talk about your Piscean house, because that's where the sun still is at the beginning of March. So focus could still be on finances, resources, whether you're solo or connected to a love partner or business partner. Focus could be on your finances or their finances, resources, property, possessions, assets, or joint, like joint accounts, joint property, mortgages, debts, loans, you know, any of that fun stuff that you have with a marital partner or a business partner. Could also be about taxes, debts, loans, you know, It's tax season after all, so it's kind of like wrapping that up, Leo, before the sun moves into the 9th house. But I can also see you filing your taxes when the sun goes into the 9th house of legal matters. This is the justice system after all, so filing those to the government. 8th house is also about transformation too, like hidden stuff that kind of comes to the surface. 8th house is also about big life shifts and change, Leo. So this could also have been simply about a reflection point of where you want to go and where you're headed, and maybe making out a draft financial plan or thinking about the future, about your finances, your resources, buying, selling property, assets, things like that, Leo. Or it could have been maybe new sources of income that came to you over the past month or so, with the sun being up here in your 8th house. And this is also the house of sex and intimacy as well, Leo. So if you do have a partner, a love partner, that could have been on the table in some way, shape, or form. Now, once the sun moves into Aries and joins this party here with Venus and Mercury and this eclipse, our final eclipse, this is going to now power up and energize this 9th house, or I think it's going to anyway. You can tell me otherwise, Leo, depending on what you're watching for. So 9th house is all about religion and spirituality, law, legal matters, the justice system, government, higher education, teaching, mentoring, coaching, whether you're learning something new or you are becoming the elder, the teacher, the coach, something to share. The 9th house is all about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, Leo. This is long distance travel or commutes or commitments. This is connections to global stuff all over the world. So again, you apply that to your circumstance. This is your ethics and belief systems and reaching for the stars, Leo. This is the house of the gods, the 9th house, because it's starting to approach the peak, the top of your sky here, Leo. So this is a bigger transition story. Now I'm going to shift over to the eclipse here. So we have the final new moon partial solar eclipse in Aries at 9 degrees. If you have anything around 9 degrees, Leo, you'll feel this a little bit more intensely than other folks. But regardless, whatever you're watching for, I think you're going to feel this regardless. So this could be about a new beginning or an ending. This is a new moon, so I would say, well, this is a new beginning, but again, it's an eclipse. An eclipse is like a wild card. It's like trying to guess what Uranus is going to do at the top of your sky. Like, you just know change is going to be coming in, and you need to pivot, shift, change, move, whatever the case may be. You can't stand still during an eclipse, basically. Sometimes, again, depending on how this bleeds out in your life, Leo. But this is a 2-year cycle wrapping up. This is our last one in Aries. We had the last one in Libra in October of 2024. So Leo, this is it. And then the eclipses now are moving into the financial areas of life for you. They're going to transition you and help you with your finances over the next 2 years or so. Your finances and your partner's finances, if you are connected to a business or love partnership. Or again, if you're playing house with someone, Leo, this would be about property, assets, things like that. So all of those could be up for some change. You could feel it this month, or again, you could feel it. This is a brand new 2-year cycle starting this month, technically started in September, and then we're wrapping one up. So you see the mixed bag of energy. I feel like I'm talking all over the map here. So I forgive me if I'm confusing you, but there's so much energy coming in this month, Leo. It's hard to articulate and give advice on, because I would say to people, and I am encouraging you to lean into something new, Leo. There's so many conjunctions here in your 8th house and 9th house that we talked about that it's hard to resist a new beginning. So I'm saying to folks, lean into it, lean into this change, only if it feels right though. Like if it feels too complicated and confusing, I mean, ask questions, but if it doesn't feel right, Leo, don't do it. Don't lean into it, right? Because at the end of the day, eclipses are going to keep us busy as it is, bringing in changes and challenges and chaos. And it might be about us. It might be about other people. It might be about our loved ones. It might be about work or business, or you as a parent. I mean, the sky's the limit, Leo. Eclipses can really ripple out to multiple areas of life. Also keep in mind, it might not happen this month. It might have already happened, or it might be happening in the next 6 months or so, because that's how eclipse energy also works, Leo. So keep that in mind. So this new beginning, final eclipse. It could be an ending or a new beginning at kind of the top of your sky there. Could be coming in at the end of the month. And then this new full moon, this is a full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo, is happening on the 14th. So this is, again, that brand new energy coming in, Leo. And this is technically, I would say, an ending, a culmination point, or a closing of one chapter and moving on to something different, Leo. But again, eclipses, who knows? Endings, new beginnings, you name it. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it's really going to depend on your personal birth chart and how this is impacting you. So this full moon with the South Node tells me this could be a release point. I just heard a karmic debt being paid already. Because again, this is purging something in this area of life for you, Leo. So this is hitting your second house. This is about your money, your finances, your resources, your personal possessions. This is about your work or your workplace if you are working. So again, own a business, run a business, entrepreneur. Again, apply this to your circumstances when I say work. And if you're not working, how do you make a living? Like, how do you pay yourself? Do you pay yourself from a 401k, savings, RSP, tax-free savings account? Government pays you, partner pays you. Like, how do you survive? How do you live? How do you put food on the table? How do you pay your taxes? Things like that, Leo. That could be up for some shift or change this month, or again, stretch this out over a 2-year cycle. That'll be up for some change. This is also your value system, what you find valuable, but also internally your value system. Again, how you earn a living, how you make money, streams of income, how do they flow to you into your pockets, so to speak. And again, anything that you own, Leo. So I'll give you a simple example. This is a purge. So again, this is selling something. Could be buying and selling, but this is the South Node. And this is a full moon. So I'm thinking maybe you need to let something go, let go of a property. Maybe you own multiple properties. Maybe it's time to sell some of that, Leo. You know, do you really need 3 sports cars in the garage, right? Like, things like that could be coming up over the next 2 years. But again, there's a spotlight being shined in your financial sector, Leo. And this could be about you, but it could also be about your partner as well. Because it is a full moon. Eclipse or no eclipse, it shines a spotlight on both axes. So Leo, regardless, this is highlighting your financial access, whether it's about you or a partner or a business partner. Again, whoever you're playing house with, this could maybe be about their resources and finances changing, or your finances and resources, Leo, changing over the next, again, it could be this month, this year, next year, whatever the case may be, but something should be, like some sort of breadcrumb should be laid out this month, Leo, on what to expect. Now, if I didn't already say this, forgive me if I'm repeating myself, I made separate videos below. So if you want to check that out, do so. Neptune moving into Aries, the new eclipse cycle, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, sorry, not Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde. Mars is now direct, but it's still, he's still scratching around in your 12th house, which can make it very difficult to get into a sleep habit routine. You might have some really wonky dreams as well. You might feel jittery and you don't really know why. But the good news is Mars is direct. He'll be hopping into your sign, I believe, middle of April. So we'll talk about that next month. So you'll be able to energize back up, Leo, from that perspective. Venus retrograde, again, anything reassessing money, finances, work for you. She rules something to do with transportation, how you get around, vehicles. Love, of course, reassessing love, whether new love or old love. And Mercury retrograde is how you digest information. Could also be about friends, people coming back from the past for you, Leo, throughout this retrograde period. Lovers coming back from the past. This could be in business or friendship circles. Someone or groups of people coming back from the past. Job offers from the past. Connecting with old bosses from the past, or something to do with work whatever work or retirement, I guess, if you don't work. Just reassessing those things, you know, how you digest information, how you communicate, how you talk to yourself, Leo, in the mirror, how you talk to yourself in public, or how you, it's almost like tying into how you carry yourself, Leo, because this is such a public area of the sky. So it's almost like changing that. But the nice thing is all this energy in Aries is making harmonious aspects to you, Leo. So that is the good news, I'm going to say. If you want to make any drastic changes to your image, though, Leo, I would just pump the brakes on that while Venus is retrograde, because it might look different on the other side. Now, if you're just going in for a routine, I don't know, thing that you normally do, like a beauty treatment that you already have done in the past, you should be okay. Also, if you have Venus retrograde in your chart natally, you should be okay. But again, you do you. You do you, Leo. I wouldn't recommend anything permanent or crazy or drastic while Venus is retrograde. And if there's any job offers coming back from the past, Leo, just double, triple check everything, you know, because again, a month of new beginnings, lots of excitement coming down the pipe. I'm excited for this month ahead because it's just a mixed bag. And I'm just so curious of how this is going to play out for each and every one of us. But anyway, Leo, I hope that kind of gives you some information to digest and chew on. And otherwise, I think it's going to be an exciting month ahead. Give yourself permission to slow down, Leo, if you need to slow down. You know, 2 personal planet retrogrades back to back. There's a reason for this. There's definitely reassessments in your 9th house and 8th house that are coming up for a reason. And then these eclipses are just nudging you along, you know, creating new opportunity, and also people, places, things coming onto your path for a reason, Leo. So enjoy the month ahead, my friends, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Virgo, let's talk about the eclipses this month and also this concentration of energy in Pisces and Aries and what that could mean for you, of course, depending on what you are watching for. So Virgo, let's start with the sun, and the sun continues to trek through your opposite sign of Pisces there. So focus for the beginning of March and continuing from February would be on relationships. So all walks of life relationships and how you relate to people one-on-one. So this could be in work, this could be in business, whether you own a business or run a business. This could even be your relationships with your the people that work for you or your coworkers. And this is, of course, love relationships as well. And even family, friends, again, anyone who you relate one-on-one to. So that's where some of the focus is going to be. Now, once the sun joins this gigantic party here in the 8th house, plus we have an eclipse here. So Virgo, I'm just going to throw it out there. something to do with your finances could be coming up for review, revision, revision, reassessing these things, because you have dual retrogrades here. You have Venus retrograde, you have Mercury retrograde. So there's definitely reassessments of how you think, of the mind. Also, Virgo, this is your planet, by the way. Mercury is your planet. So you and Gemini are most affected by Mercury retrograde. So always keep that in mind. Mercury goes retrograde like 4 times a year, something like that. So, I mean, it's not anything new, but being in your 8th house, that just, again, it's like your money is on the mind. Money's, you know, what's that saying? There's a song that's in my head right now. Anyway, I'm going to sound like a moron if I'm trying to like articulate that, but that's what they're playing, this song in my head about mind on the money, money on the mind. There we go. Yeah, sharp as a marble here, Virgo. Sorry, sharp as a marble. Anyway, that's definitely going to be the focus. Reassessing love, reassessing educational pursuits, reassessing finances, investments, property, shared assets, debts, loans, taxes. Tons of energy coming into this 8th house. Also transformation. 8th house is about big life shifts and changes. I know it's not an angular house, but it is the 8th house of Pluto and Mars. So we're talking like peeling an onion here and getting to the core of an issue, whether it's conscious or unconscious, Virgo. I don't want to get all deep and intense on you, but I mean, everybody's going to experience this a little bit differently. And again, it comes down to your personal birth chart if this is your true 8th house as well. but it could be psychological matters. It could be big change. We have an eclipse here. I'll get to that in a second. This is about death and rebirth. I'm not saying you're going to die, but metaphorically, right? Something ending in your life so you can take on something new. And the eclipse here is also amping up that energy as well. As I mentioned, taxes, debts, loans, getting those wrapped up. Tax season is here basically, but again, it depends on if you own a business, run a business. I know deadlines are different throughout the year. Shared finances, shared loans, shared property. Who are you playing house with, Virgo? Whether it's a loved one or a business or family, friend, whatever. It's anyone you're kind of in bed with. This is the house of sex after all. So it could be literally who are you in bed with, Virgo, metaphorically or literally speaking. This is also the house of inheritance. This is the house of wills as well. So maybe you're thinking about drawing up a will, or maybe something to do with your parental units, dealing with that. And again, deep intimacy, sexuality. And this is also the house of fear, power, and control issues as well. So this could be on the surface, Virgo, or again, deep psychological shifts and change. There we go. I kept saying chain. So I don't know. Anyway, it could be chained down to something or someone, right? That could be a possibility too, and working through those motions. You know, Venus retrograde in here and Mercury retrograde in here is really going to take a toll on love. And again, the mind, Virgo. This is about the mind, how you chew on information and digest that information. It could be about educational pursuits, diving into taboo topics. If you're going through a separation, anything like that, separation of assets, you could be going back and forth with a partner, whether in business or love, Virgo. So I hope that kind of gives you something to think about over the next month, because this is a heavy house after all, and heavy energy is going in here, or I should say lots of energy is going in here, plus Neptune is diving in here this month as well, Virgo. And actually, I'm going to say it now before I forget. If you want to learn more about Neptune moving into Aries, this brand new eclipse cycle we're in, so the South Node in your sign, North Node in Pisces, Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde. I made separate videos down below because I knew I'm not going to be able to squeeze all the information in these monthly videos. So check out my links below if you are interested in learning more. Neptune, for example, this is a 14-year transit. So yeah, big news on the horizon with all these heavy hitters slowly moving on. And I mean, Virgo, you're probably happy with Saturn and Neptune moving out of your 7th house, moving away from your planets, placements, points. I know that's not easy to deal with Neptune oppositions and Saturn oppositions. So they're going to be moving on into this 8th house as well. So all that stuff I rattled off, that's going to have extra importance for you, Virgo, over the next several years, because Saturn's going to be in here for 2.5, 3 years. And then Neptune's going to be in here for about 14 years. So Virgo, lots of change coming down the pipe in this area of life on multiple levels. So again, new moon, partial solar eclipse in Aries in this area of life at the end of the month on the 29th. It's not so much about the dates, Virgo. Eclipses are pretty tough to pin down the exact manifestation dates. Sometimes things can manifest around these dates, 100%. But sometimes it can manifest 2 months before. So maybe this stuff already happened that I'm talking about. Maybe it already resonates. Or it could ripple out 6 months from March from these dates. So always keep that in mind when I'm talking about eclipses, because at the end of the month, only you will know, okay, how did all this energy come down the pipe for you? And if not much happened, well, then that just means that you're up for some change over the next 6 months or so, right? Because eclipses are like, surprise, I'm here, time for some change, get out, or whatever, whatever the case may be, Virgo. But at the end of the day, this is a new beginning though. This is whether this is a new love relationship, a new partnership, a new business partnership, a new way to earn money, new clients coming in, new business, something to do with taxes, debts, loans, like a loan coming through, a mortgage coming through. like this is, you know, I'm not saying this could be doom and gloom. This could be a good thing too, something that you've been waiting on. This is a 2-year cycle. The Aries Libra eclipses, this is a 2-year cycle that's been hitting your finances, Virgo, for, well, since 2023, I mean. So again, think back to that time. What started, what initiated, what have you been going through in these 2 areas of life to do with finances, work, resources, money, shared assets, shared loans, debt, property. That's been going through some change and transformation. And now the eclipses are going to be moving into, well, this is going to impact you directly, personally, intimately, Virgo, over the next 2 years. So like I said, a new beginning in this 8th house. But again, it's hard to say with eclipses. It could be endings and new beginnings all in the same time frame, right? Now let's move on to this total full moon lunar eclipse in your sign at 23 degrees. Now, if you have anything around 23 degrees of Virgo, I'm going to say give or take 5 degrees on either side, you're definitely going to feel this full moon eclipse the most. And keep in mind, Virgo, you might be blinded by something this month. I don't mean literally, but you might not be seeing something clearly. Again, Mercury, your ruler is retrograde on top of it. So it's like double whammy when it comes to you're not seeing something clearly. But so that's why I usually say take a back seat when eclipses come around, because just see what comes up and respond and react to that. But as I described in the first part of the video, there's so many conjunctions this month for you in your relationship sector and your financial sector. This could be a big opportunity for you coming in. So do the best you can, Virgo. Like I said, lean into change, feel it in your gut. You really, all of us have to go with our intuition this month, because all of us might not be seeing something clearly. And that's okay. That's what eclipses do. I mean, you're not ruled by the moon or the sun unless you're a Leo or Cancer watching this. Then you're heavily impacted by the eclipses because they're ruled. Leo's ruled by the sun, Cancer by the moon, so they're always impacted by eclipses. But you, Virgo, your ruler's retrograde, plus the eclipses are now in your territory, your sign. And the South Node, this is about purging and letting something go. So you have to literally let go of something in your life, a person, place, or thing over the next couple years, so you can welcome in something new at that partnership point in your chart, if this is your true 7th house, or again, depending on what you're watching for, Virgo. So again, if it's your sun sign, this would be something to do with a career or a career change or a business change. If you own a business, run a business, or if you're retired, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? How are you being of service? Or what do you want to do? Or maybe this is about your health and well-being and getting that back on track. Remember, this is a letting go point. So something's got to give in regards to you, or again, your career, your home life, your partnerships, this is going to bleed out to all areas of life, Virgo, because if you've been following me for a while, I say that all the time. 1st house, 7th house, 10th house, 4th house, anything that happens in those angular houses, it's going to impact all areas of life, multiple areas of life. Now, if your moon is around 23 degrees of Virgo, this is to do with your home life, your family, your living circumstances, your living situation, mom, dad, authority figures in your life. They could be going through some changes. You as a parent could be going through some changes, Virgo. If it's your rising sign, this could be about relationships. Again, move slowly, Virgo. I would caution that with any new relationships. But again, you do you. Because it's so much, too many retrogrades right now to like meet the love of your life and elope and get married within 7 days. You know what I mean? This person, place, or thing that comes into your life in March or even April, they're gonna look different by May. Just putting it out there. I'm not here to preach or tell you what to do, Virgo. Plus, on top of it, your ruler is retrograde. So you're really blinded, right? You don't know. And that's okay. That's okay. There's a reason your legs are getting kicked out from under you. There's a reason for this, Virgo. You know, there is a silver lining. It's just that it might show up this month, it might show up next month, or it might show up 6 months from now, or some of you might have already experienced this energy well before March. If it's also your rising sign, this is about you, your identity, your place in the world, how you see the world. It's the lenses, the glasses that you wear. It's also first impressions, like how people see you and what you're known for. So it kind of melds in with your status as well, Virgo. So, oh, and also relationships. Yeah, because full moons, eclipse or no eclipse, full moons can shine a spotlight on the other side of the house where you have, you know, the North Node, Saturn, Neptune. Well, for now anyway, these two heavy hitters are going to move on, but this could also be about a partnership, a marital partnership, a business partnership. Something comes to light, a contract, agreement, negotiation. Again, things could probably come back from the past. People, places, things, I wouldn't be surprised, will probably come back from the past because Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, okay? So Mercury rules the top of your sky as well, and also, as we talked about, you. So again, if old jobs or old bosses or anyone from the past come back around, just double, triple check everything before you sign on the dotted line. Same with mortgages, buying a house or a loan. Make sure you read the fine print and ask questions. Again, go with your gut this month, Virgo. I know that's hard to hear for such a logical sign as yourself, but that might be the only way you can navigate the month of March. I'm not saying it's a bad month. Again, I think there's blessings and opportunities coming in this month, but it's how we lean into the energy and how we utilize the energy, right? If it doesn't feel right, then back away or hold off if you can, right? It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that you're not seeing something, right? Quite literally on paper, you might not be seeing something, right? So anything coming back from the past, amazing. There's got to be a reason for it, right? But just go slow, Virgo. That would be my recommendation. Go slow, give yourself permission to slow down. So that is about it. Again, just a reminder, if you want to learn more about these retrogrades, Mars, Venus, North Node, South Node, and Neptune moving into Aries, check out all the links below. And I dive into more information than what I can articulate right now in these monthly videos. So Virgo, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in April. Bye for now. Hey Libra, let's talk about these eclipses and also the areas of life where all this concentrated energy is for the month of March. So Libra, let's first start with the sun, continuing its trek through your 6th house of work and day-to-day duty and responsibility, your habits, your routines, your health and well-being, and how you're taking care of yourself, Libra. This is also the house of pets too. So maybe they needed a little bit of extra TLC or attention this month in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe some of you got a new pet, actually. I wouldn't be surprised at all. With Neptune in here, Saturn in here for many, many, many years, you probably had pets coming and going, Libra. I'm going to just throw it out there, whether big pets or little pets, or I don't know, even for those of you that like the bugs, like the big spiders and, you know, all that fancy stuff. So Libra, the sun is still energizing this area of life. So again, focuses on work, the day-to-day. If you own a business, run a business. This is also the workplace, coworkers, people that work for you, people that work with you. It's the atmosphere, it's the environment. So the sun would have been energizing this area of life. Now, if you're saying to yourself, I don't work, well then the 6th house is the area of life of being of service, Libra. So how are you being of service? Are you leaning into volunteer opportunities or humanitarian efforts, or getting involved with even social circles, right? Social circles, group efforts, unions, professional associations, Libra. So what are you leaning into if you don't have a regular, 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call it, like the majority of the population? What do you want to lean into? And also with Saturn here, Neptune here, the North Node here, that's definitely going to be up for some change, Libra. Or you're wrapping up a bigger cycle that began back in 2011, 2012, when Neptune dived in here, and then Saturn joined this area of life back in 2023, I believe, or 2022. So Libra, once the sun moves away from this 6th house, it's going to join the party in your opposite sign of Aries. And this is your house of partnerships, contracts, agreements, negotiations, marital partnerships. Whoever you are in bed with, Libra, quite literally or metaphorically speaking. So business, friendship circles, lovers, obviously love relationships, marriage, things like that. Libra, that's where the focus is going to be. But not only that, there's lots of introspection happening here and revising or redoing or reassessing love or your connections one-on-one to people. If you're not in a relationship, then this would be in business or friendship circles, or again, whoever you are in business with or in bed with. This is some reassessments coming in with Venus retrograding back and forth here as well. Keep in mind, Mercury is also hand in hand with Venus going retrograde here as well, Libra. So plus there's an eclipse here in your 7th house. Venus, Mercury could bring back quite literally lovers from the past, friendship circles from the past, or friends from the past. Venus is your ruler, Libra, as well. So you are always, you and Taurus are ruled by Venus. So you two are always impacted greater or greatly when your ruler goes retrograde in the sky. So again, Venus, Libra, I would encourage you to go slow when it comes to anything new in this area of life. So new contracts, agreements, negotiations, proposals, or love. So if somebody new shows up over the next couple months, or even in February, because she was in shadow all throughout February, if there's anyone new you met in 2025, early 2025, I would recommend to go slow. But it's up to you, Libra. If you want to elope and go to Las Vegas and get married and you know this person for 24 hours, that's totally up to you. I'm not going to sit here and condemn you and lecture you and, you know, be an old lady hag to you. No, like you do you. But I mean, I'm just saying, whatever you do during this retrograde, Mercury and Venus, people, places, things that you commit to now under these retrograde periods and under eclipse energy, we are not seeing something clearly. So it's about this, again, person, place, or thing is going to look different come May timeframe. I'm just going to put it out there, Libra. So again, you do you this month. It's a good month of leaning into your intuition. Because if you watch the beginning of my video, I talked about all these conjunctions happening in your 6th house of work. So this could be incredible opportunity coming in, Libra, with work or love or business, or again, contracts, agreements, negotiations. But there's something we're just not seeing this month. It's kind of like the blind leading the blind here. And it's like all this opportunity is coming in, but you don't really know all the dirty details yet. Or maybe you don't know all the duties and responsibilities of this new job or new work endeavor or this new volunteer effort, or again, whatever, apply this to your circumstance. I still recommend people to lean into this because I think there's a reason for this. It's like blessings in disguise coming in and the universe helping us and teaching us to take that leap of faith and go with our gut, go with our intuition, Libra. So you do you this month, lean into anything that feels right, that feels good, and do those readjustments later on down the road. Same with big launches, anything big that you got to do this month. It just means there's going to be some reassessments later on down the road. But again, I don't recommend you to bet the farm or elope and get married unless you've been with this person for years and years and years, or if you're recommitting to someone, that's okay. Because it's a redo, reassessment. Anything that starts with an RE is okay to do. It's supportive under retrograde energy. Also, Libra, if you have Venus retrograde natally in your birth chart or Mercury retrograde natally in your birth chart, you should be okay. But again, I wouldn't risk it. It's just not worth it. But I get it. I know I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, Libra. I'm driving you nuts. I know that's how this month is, though. It's like, here's some opportunity, but here's a bunch of caution flags. But you do you. Do whatever you want. Right? I know, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, Libra, just go with your gut. Go with your intuition. You can't go wrong. And again, just fix something down the road. That's all it means, right? Okay, so keep that in mind around, we have our final new moon partial solar eclipse in Aries at 9 degrees. And this is a bigger cycle, Libra, that you've been going through, that we've all been going through, but this has been hitting you personally over the past 2 years. That started in 2023 and it's wrapping up finally now. We had our final eclipse in your sign in Libra at the beginning of October 2024. So think back to that time. If something didn't wrap up then, I'm hoping or thinking it would be now this is wrapping up something in your partnership sector. Now this is a new moon technically. So I would normally say plant those seeds of intention of the love, the partnership, whoever you want to call in. But I mean, it's an eclipse, so it might go sideways. So I mean, you can still hold the intention in your heart, but I wouldn't recommend to do any crazy wild rituals and really sink in the intention here, because it's going to come out sideways because that's eclipses for you. I'm not trying to taint the energy or be negative. That's just eclipse energy. It's like trying to explain Uranus. It's like expect the unexpected, right? So Libra, this could be endings and new beginnings. It's hard to say. Yes, it's a new moon, so I'm thinking it's a new beginning in this 7th house of partnerships. But with all this retrograde energy here, it's hard to say, right? It's very hard to say. It could be endings and new beginnings mixed, meld together. Now, if you have anything around 9 degrees of Libra, if it's your sun sign, this could be about career, status, reputation, your image, your health and well-being of the body. Or this could be about father figures or male figures in your life. If it's your moon sign, this is about home, family, foundation, your place of living. Also, I heard for you something to do with renovating or beautifying the home, something to do with that as well, or possibly, again, not for all of you. If it's your rising sign, again, this is heavy on the relationship front. This is quite literally, again, 9 degrees of Libra, if you have anything around there. Sorry, your rising. If your rising is 9 degrees of Libra, this is literally hitting your love line. So definitely about love partnerships, whether, well, again, I'm not going to speculate. This is, you tell me, you let me know what happens around this new moon, Libra, this eclipse, to do with your relationship sector. Or it could be about you, Libra. If you're single and on your own, it could be about you, your health and vitality, again, of the body. That's the rising sign. How you walk into the world, how you're known, the status, reputation, your career. It's the lens you wear, Libra, how you see the world, or how you see the bubble that you're living in. Or this could be about first impressions, right? How people view you. That could be going through some change as well. I'm also going to throw it out there. If you have any surgeries booked, cosmetic, I'm not talking about other surgeries, cosmetic stuff, if you want to get any of that done this month, again, I would pump the brakes on anything new that's permanent. If it's not permanent, I'm not too concerned. But again, Venus retrograde, she rules beauty. So anything you're doing that's brand spanking new, if you can, hold off. If it's old stuff that you've done in the past, like, you know, if you've had Botox like 100 times, it should be fine. But again, I wouldn't risk it, Libra. I wouldn't risk it unless you have Venus retrograde in your chart. But still, I wouldn't risk it. It's just not worth the risk, especially if it's permanent. Okay, think permanent. I'm not talking about semi-permanent. Like, you know, go dye your hair pink. You know, it's going to grow. Or you can dye it again, right? It's just that think of anything to do with love, beauty, money is up for some reassessment over the next 2 months. And she's been in shadow in February. She's retrograde this month, retrograde in April, but she does go direct. So you do you, Libra. Like I said, I'm not here to preach, but it is your ruler after all. So you will be impacted by this reassessment, or again, anything new that comes in related to love or money or beauty enhancements, for example. Even your value system too. If you're gut checking your value system, again, just swim through the emotions this month and next month and wait till she goes direct. Then you'll be more clear when it comes to whatever that you're going through from an emotional standpoint or a value system standpoint, Libra. Okay, let's talk about this other eclipse that's happening this month, but a brand new cycle is starting. So we have our first, this is a full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo, and this is a brand new areas of life, Libra. So like I said, we're wrapping up you and Aries, that axis, and then now we're shifting into brand new energies. Now, this is a quieter area of life for you, Libra. So some of you will feel this and some of you won't. This is where I would look to your personal birth chart. You know, do you have anything in Virgo? Do you have anything in Pisces? That's where it's going to add additional layers to this story. But in general, the 12th house is about preparing for a new cycle. This is about endings and new beginnings, more so on endings though. This is a full moon, which is a culmination point. Yes, it's an eclipse, so it's like a, could be like an ending on steroids, like just amped up, jazzed up that much more. Plus it's at the south node. So this is a purge. This is a letting go. This is releasing something that you don't want to carry with you into this new cycle. Now, this is a 2-year cycle though. So you have lots of time to work through these subconscious energies because the 12th house is quiet, hidden, away from prying eyes, so to speak. So this is about solitude, reflection, introspection. This is about you reflecting, Libra, on where is your time, your energy, your efforts, your money being spent, if that resonates with you. 12th house is also awakenings, whether spiritual, religious, or otherwise, just awakenings in general. This is spiritual growth and how you connect to a higher purpose or a higher power, again, whether you're working or not working. This is about maybe finding your purpose or letting go of old dreams and commitments that you had in the past so you can welcome in something new at that 6th house energy that we were talking about earlier, about animals and pets and work and being of service. 12th house is also about solitude, Libra. So like I said, some of you will feel this, some of you won't. This could just be about getting more rest or getting into a sleep cycle that works for you, or healing. 12th house is big on healing, about mental, physical, spiritual, emotional healing. So all levels of healing, all dimensions of healing of you, past life regression, things like that. 12th house is also hidden gifts, talents, and abilities, Libra. So again, full moon, could be an ending, could be a new beginning. Again, with an eclipse, sometimes you don't know. Now, this full moon is also shining a spotlight into that 6th house, which I was talking about earlier. Work, being of service, commitment to others, animals, pets, coworkers, colleagues. If you own a business, run a business. If you have rental properties, Libra, it could be something about that as well. Your day-to-day duty, responsibility. Clearly, there's changes coming in. It could be in March. Some of this might have already happened because eclipse energy is 2 months before the date and 6 months after the dates. So it might not be about March. It might be about next month or the coming 6 months. Or maybe some of you are saying, yep, all of this already happened to me. So it could go either way, Libra. Regardless, I hope you enjoy the month ahead, exciting times ahead, a very active month ahead. And again, Libra, if you want to, if I didn't already mention this, check out my videos below. I made a separate video about Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, this brand new eclipse cycle happening in Virgo and Pisces, and also Neptune diving into your relationship sector for the next 14 years, Libra, and what that could mean or what that could present to you over the next, again, beyond a decade. So very exciting news with all these heavy hitters moving into new territory this year. I'll be here to talk about it. I've already made separate videos about them, and I'm going to be releasing them slowly but surely over the next 3 months or so. So stay tuned for those separate videos. Otherwise, Libra, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in April. Bye for now. Hey, Scorpio, let's talk about these eclipses this month. So AKA more change coming in this month. Plus, on top of it, let's talk about these loaded houses of Pisces and Aries, where also, if you watch the beginning of the video, where I talked about these multiple conjunctions that are happening this month, that is just so rare. And on top of it, we have eclipses. So let's break this down, Scorpio. And yeah, forgive me, I feel like I'm all over the map in these videos, but that's just how the energy is this month. I just feel like it's scattered and chaotic and beautiful, and it's a beautiful mess though. It's just a beautiful mess. I don't think this is a bad thing. I think we need this. I think we all need this in some way, shape, or form. So Scorpio, first, the sun starts or continues his trek through Pisces, your 5th house, pouring in beautiful, harmonious energy into your sign, Scorpio. So this is good news coming in through the sun. And also if you have anything at the late degrees of Scorpio, Saturn and Neptune will be working with you as well. And the North Node is there as well. Like I said, all these new beginnings, Scorpio, could be intertwined into whatever you're watching for, your sun, your moon, your rising, bringing in opportunity and blessing that are faded. These are like faded new beginnings for you, Scorpio. So I'm going to say this now. Again, it's a mixed bag. I would say lean into this change, but you really got to feel it in your gut, Scorpio. You have to feel it in your bones, in your soul, in your whatever you want to call it. Because it's eclipse season, and eclipses can kind of make us blind a little bit, you know, that we don't really know what we're getting ourselves into with eclipse season. Plus on top of it, Mercury is retrograde, Venus is retrograde. I mean, Mars is direct, so your ruler is direct, and that's great news, and he's pouring in blessings up from your 9th house. But these other planets kind of make it sticky, you know? So that's what I mean. I know I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I know that. But lean into what feels right and good for you. And just, I recommend, don't break the bank. Don't sell the farm. Don't gamble away your life savings, Scorpio. Like, also be calculated about it, but take a leap of faith. You know, I really think that's what the universe is delivering us this cluster this month is, you know what? Take a leap of faith. I think that's what they're trying to teach us, because it's a cluster this month. I don't remember, mind you, I haven't been doing astrology for like a billion years, but I have not seen this. This is very rare to see so many conjunctions on top of eclipses, on top of Venus and Mercury retrograde. That's wild. It's very wild, Scorpio. So anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest in the beginning because I want you to keep that at the back of your skull as I'm yakking away here. So the sun in your 5th house is also highlighting your kids, your children, if you have any, your grandchildren, if you have any. Also your I heard it, so I'm going to say it. Something to do with your skills, your talents, your abilities. But the 5th house is something to do with hobbies, creative projects, fertility. So, you know, this could be starting a family, thinking about starting a family, birthing something new from a creative project, or monetizing a hobby or a creative project or endeavor. And this is just having fun. 5th house is fun, gambling, sex, romance, dating, self-expression. Like, I love the 5th house. It's like the 5th house, the 11th house are beautiful, beautiful houses. And Scorpio, lucky you, you have eclipses here for the next 2 years. So I'm going to get into that in a second here with the Virgo full moon eclipse here. So that's where the sun is energizing you this month, and also Neptune and Saturn are here. Neptune will be diving into your 6th house for 14 years. If you want to learn more about that, check out all my videos below. I dive into Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, Neptune moving into Aries for 14 years and what that means for each and every one of us. I also cover off the eclipses below. So what does that mean? North node, south node in your 5th house, 11th house, what that could mean over the next 2 years. So Scorpio, I just can't squeeze everything in this video. So I made separate videos below. So check that out if you are interested in learning more about this brand new energy coming in. Now, once the sun moves into Aries, it's going to join the party with this new moon eclipse, Mercury, Venus, but the retrograde. So keep that in mind, Scorpio. We are going to be reassessing. So Venus is love and money and beauty. So that's something we're going to be reassessing over the next several months. Mercury retrograde, this is about the mind, communication, how we communicate, how we digest information, learning something new, diving back into the old. This is like the old coming back around. For you, Scorpio, this could be old, you know, old relationships coming back around, whether this is in friends, lovers, or work, something to do with work relationships coming back around, contracts, agreements, paperwork coming back around, old friends coming back around. In general, I should have said just people, places, things coming back from the past. We got a double whammy retrograde here. And it's your 6th house. This is a heavy, busy house, Scorpio. So you, out of all the signs, definitely tons of concentrated energy here. So I hate to say it, once the sun moves into Aries on or around the 20th, it's like the fun is over, hang up the bathing suit, and let's get to work. Scorpio, I'm just going to put it out there. Obviously, this isn't for all of you, but I mean, take what resonates, leave the rest. Your 6th house is your day-to-day duty and responsibility. So again, it can kind of feel heavy at times, whether it's your kids, whether it's with work, whether it's volunteer efforts, humanitarian efforts, you know, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. It could be being of service to a parent, an elderly parent, or an authority figure, or, you know, whoever. 6th house is also about your diet, your health routines, regimes, how you're taking care of yourself, Scorpio, and also your pets and animals are covered off in the 6th house as well. So they might need some TLC this month, or some extra attention, or maybe some of you are going to be getting new pets in, well, who knows? It could be this month, next month, last month, because it's also eclipse energy is here. And eclipse energy is 2 months before and 6 months after. So if you haven't already gotten a pet, Scorpio, that could be on the table. This is the house of habits, routines, the workplace, work in general, your coworkers, your responsibility, obligations. This is also rental properties, if you own rental units or properties or whatever. If you are a boss, Scorpio, if you own a business, run a business, this is the people that work for you. So Scorpio, to say the least, all that stuff that I rambled off, there's some change coming in to this area of life. Because not only is the sun going to energize this area, we have Mercury and Venus retrograde, like I mentioned, but we also have a new moon, but it's a new moon on steroids here. It is a partial solar eclipse in Aries. Final one, final cycle. We're wrapping up a larger cycle, Scorpio, that you've been dealing with, we've all been dealing with since 2023. So we are wrapping up that cycle. We're welcoming in this brand new cycle, which again, it's flowing more harmoniously into your planet's placements point, Scorpio, but I don't want you to think it's going to be a cakewalk, because eclipses can be rattling. They can bring in rapid change, rapid new beginnings. So what does that mean? Rapid endings, right? Now, this could be a good thing though. I'm not trying to Debbie down this, but for those of you that are looking for change, you're going to love this. And for those of you that are like, nope, my life is perfect and everything has its little place on its little shelf, this might drive you nuts, right? It depends on how you lean into change. So this is definitely a month of change in that 6th house, where you could be welcoming in something new or letting something go. It could be either or with an eclipse energy. This is a new moon. I'm thinking something new. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, well, this is a cycle though that's ending and wrapping up since 2023, 2024. So could be either or, Scorpio. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Now this full moon, our very first eclipse in Virgo, we had one in Pisces already back in September of 2024, around the 17th at 25 degrees of Pisces. So if you have anything around 25 degrees of Scorpio, you would have felt this one back in September. So what changed back then that would have given you kind of like hints and clues about something that could be coming down the pipe over the next couple years. Now this full moon total lunar eclipse is happening in Virgo at 23 degrees. So again, what do you have around 23 degrees, Scorpio? This is going to be welcoming in change, opportunity, blessings in disguise, or opportunity. I'm thinking to let something go in this area of life, because it is at the South Node, and the South Node is like a purge. You out of all the signs know this, because you rule the 8th house, Pluto, Mars, and you're all about purge. You're all about getting rid of things. That's Scorpios are, well, the Scorpio energy, I should say, is really good at that. So 11th house, this is about older siblings. So if you have an older sibling, there could be change coming into their life either this month, last month, the next 6 months, or over the next 2 years. 11th house is friendship circles, people that you surround yourself with by choice, and also your role or your commitments in these circles of friends, unions, humanitarian efforts, professional associations, again, personal friendship circles, you name it, is covered off in the 11th house here. So something's got to change. I'm thinking, again, something's got to end here. Something's got to be let go of here, Scorpio, for your highest good. This is the area of life that has to lift you up and light you up. If it doesn't do that, hint, hint, wink, wink, Scorpio, get rid of it. You know, I know, easier said than done. You're probably getting pissed that I'm even saying that, but it's the South Node. Like, what do you want me to say? You got to let something go in this area of life, Scorpio. But again, it's a 2-year cycle. This is just the beginning of the hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And it might be a loud nudge or it might be a soft nudge. It depends. Let's see here. 11th house is also about your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your long-term commitments and goals. This is the house of social media. So maybe letting go of some of those platforms, Scorpio. Not a bad idea. Networking is covered off in the 11th house here. The future. And again, what lifts you up, what lights you up, and what supports you, Scorpio. Now, if you're watching for your sun sign, this could be opportunities on the career front or opportunities coming in for you as a boss, leader, entrepreneur, or father figures in your life, opportunities or change coming in for them. If it's your moon sign, this is about changes on the home front or family, place of living, or who you share a bed with or house with or living quarters with. If it's your rising sign, it's something to do with your identity, how you carry yourself in the world, how you present yourself to the world. It could be your status, reputation, what you're known for. Also, like how you project yourself out in life and how people see you. It's kind of like first impressions. Or something to do with your relationships. If it's your rising sign, that means your descendant is in Taurus. So this could be, again, changes with relationships, business, love, friendship circles, again, whoever you're in business with, or contracts, agreements, negotiations. Something could be changing there as well, Scorpio. Otherwise, again, if you want to learn more about the other transits that are happening this month, I have them on the screen. Check out the links below, because again, I can't dive into everything with these videos because I try to keep them short, sweet, to the point, and I want to give those other aspects their own spotlight because they definitely deserve it, like Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, your ruler, and Neptune diving into brand new territory, and of course the brand new eclipse cycle that we're just getting started with here in 2025. Otherwise, Scorpio, enjoy the month ahead. Again, use that intuition, lean into new, anything new. You got to use your gut because we're all going to be blind. We're going to be a little bit blind this month. We can't quite see something that could be right in front of us, and that's okay. That's what this energy is asking us to do. So go with your gut this month and just enjoy this beautiful new change and energy that's coming in for each and every one of us. So we'll see you back here in April, Scorpio. Bye for now. Hey, Sagittarius, let's talk about this concentration of energy at the bottom of your sky and also these eclipses that are coming down the pipe for each and every one of us this month. So Sag, I'm going to say it right off the hop. There could be some change. Change is in the air again and again and again this month. And it's just layered in with all these conjunctions at the bottom of your sky in your 4th house and 5th house. So if you watch the beginning of the video, you know, lean into this. I would recommend to lean into this, but you got to use your gut. If you got to launch anything, if you got to do anything big, just do the best you can. The energy is like here nor there, everywhere. Like it's just such a mixed bag this month, but I'm looking forward to this, especially if you need change and you want change, Sag. This is the month that I think it'll at least start. Or maybe some of you already experienced this change in February because eclipse energy, it's not so much about the day, the particular day. It's about 2 months before the eclipses and 6 months after the eclipses. So keep that in mind in case you're like, oh, well, nothing happened to me this month. Well, something's got to give, Sag. Something's got to give this, you know, this month, next month, 6 months from now, or even next year. Something's going to be giving here, Sag, and I'll dive into it in just a second here. First, let's start with the sun. So the sun is still at the bottom of your sky in Pisces and energizing this area of life of home, of family, your kids, your place of living, whoever you share a bed with, whoever you share living circumstances with, whoever's under the same roof as you. This is about property. This is about buying, selling. This is about maybe renovating the home, or changes in the home, or again, just laser focus in on the home. This could be about you as a parent. This could also be about the past, maybe some focus on past ancestry, mother, father, authority figures, or again, you as a parent could be in the spotlight this month. Now, shifting into the Aries energy now, the sun is going to join this new moon eclipse in Aries, Venus in Aries, Mercury in Aries, this pileup of fiery energy. And you're going to love this, Sag, because this is all trining your planets, your placements, your points, especially if you have anything at the beginning degrees of Sag. This is going to light you up. I think you're really going to enjoy this energy. But yes, I got to throw a but in there because Mercury and Venus are retrograde this month. So that is the only sticky thing this month. Well, among all the other stuff that's happening this month. But, you know, I see this as blessings. You know, wherever Venus goes, she attracts love, money, beauty, partnership, whatever you want to call it, romance. And this is happening in your 5th house of romance, Sag. So if you're single, this could be new love coming in or past old love coming in. Regardless, people, places, things from the past are going to be coming back around, Sag, because we have Mercury and Venus retrograde in this area of life. And again, they're going to dip even back into Pisces in your 4th house. So if you're renovating the home or doing changes on the home front, that will continue as well. You could be reassessing something as well with these planets going back and forth between your 4th house and 5th house. So tons of concentrated energy here, Sag. But again, you got to use your intuition with all this kind of stuff, because I think you should lean into change, but you also have to be careful, right? I highly recommend don't sell the farm. Don't bet all your savings account money, common sense stuff, Sag. Take it slow if you can go slow. But again, I also don't want to be an old lady hen here and telling you what to do. You do you. I'm just giving you the heads up of the energy that's kind of in the air, and it's like here nor there, especially with the eclipses, because there's just something we're not seeing. And that's okay. It's meant to be. It is what it is, right? Okay, so let's talk about this 5th house, and keep in mind we have an eclipse here. So there's some sort of change coming into this area of life to add in an additional layer here. So we have our final new moon partial solar eclipse in Aries at 9 degrees. So if you have anything around 9 degrees of Sag, you're going to feel this the most. But again, I think you're going to feel this regardless with this pileup of energy here. So the 5th house is all about children, grandchildren, if you have any, love affairs, romance, dating, sex. This is a little bit of drama, a little bit of spice, Sag. Like spicing things up in a marriage. If you're in an existing partnership, excellent time to bring in that. This is about creativity and self-expression and joy and hobbies and diving into anything that lights you up. Now, for those of you, this is also a fertility transit, especially with this so much energy here and an eclipse here. I'm just going to put it out there. Depending on your age, depending on if you're able to have kids, and I'm not just talking to the women, by the way, so men, you're not off the hook. A one-night stand could be a baby, okay? I don't think I'm telling you anything new. Or I hope I'm not, okay? With all this energy in here, this could be a surprise baby. This is an eclipse after all. So I'm just going to throw it out there. And for those of you, obviously, you got to take what resonates and leave the rest. But maybe something to do with your kids might surprise you. Your fertility might surprise you. Not only this month, but maybe last month or in January. February, January, or 6 months from now. Your fertility could really surprise you, Sag. Again, doesn't matter if you're they, them, male, female, it pays to play, right? So take those extra precautions if you don't want to start a family. If you do want to start a family, the energy is there. You just expect the unexpected with an eclipse, that's all. You just don't know which way it's going to go. But for those of you that are having any difficulty getting pregnant, seek out other ways, right? There's other means and ways to enhance that, to assist you in getting pregnant or becoming fertile or whatever, right? You seek out the right professionals, but get help with that, because Venus and Mercury retrograde are going to help you with reassessing something in this area of life. Excellent time for hobbies and going back to old hobbies, like going back to old things that maybe you purchased or bought and you kind of put on the sidelines. It collected dust. Now it's time to pick them back up and maybe get through them, finish them, whether it's a course or some physical hobby. Not a bad time to pick that back up, Sag. Also, what was I going to say here? Yeah, love. Sag, did I already say this? Yeah, if new love comes in, go slow. I would recommend to go slow. Venus retrograde. Yeah, she rules money, relationships, love, beauty. So any of those things, just take a double look. Unless you have Venus retrograde in your birth chart, it might be a little bit different, but I wouldn't risk it, Sag. So again, I wouldn't sell off everything and go meet your online partner that you just met and they're madly in love with you and you just sent them $1 million and they told you that they're going to take care of you and blah, 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 and you sell everything and you move to Tijuana and you figure out that they don't exist. You know, I'm going to be honest, I can see that with this energy, right? Again, eclipses blind us. This is in your romance sector. And also Venus retrograde, you make sure you know who's on the other end. So meet them in person. That would be my recommendation. Meet them in person. Don't do a video call. Meet them in person. And if you can't do that, that's okay. Then they'll still be there, or they should still be there when she goes direct in April and when she comes out of shadow in May. So I know I sound like an old hound dog, an old woman. I'm just putting it out there, Sag, because this is literally in your romance house. Okay. So just something to think about. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. Same with money endeavors, right? Gambling. This is gambling too. So if someone wants you to put down like $100,000 on something and you're like, yeah, sure. And they say to you, yeah, you're going to get $500,000 back, but I need $100,000 from you now. I would double check that, Sag. Double check who you're dealing with, especially if it's anyone new. But even if it's someone that you know that comes back from the past, that's riddled with red flags, right? But again, there's probably a lot of you out there that disagree with me, and I can appreciate that. This is just my opinion, Sag. Take what resonates, leave the rest. So my point is, you got some change coming into this house, some revision, some reassessment, some putting on the brakes, taking things slow, double, triple check everything you sign off on, especially technology gadgets or vehicles or anything with tech in it, basically. And also beauty enhancements, love, getting into bed with someone, things like that, right? Are just up for some revision, redoing something in this area of your life, Sag. Now let's move to the top of your sky. Let's talk about this other eclipse that's happening this month. So this is the full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees. So if you have anything around 23 degrees as Sag, you are going to feel this the most possibly. And again, it could have already happened, or it might happen this month, or you might feel it 6 months from now. So this is the first one at the South Node, at the top of your sky. This is like a purge point, Sag. This is about releasing something, letting something go that just doesn't work anymore in this area of life. And this is, again, hitting a parental axis for you. So this might not be about you. This might be about a mother, father, authority figure in your life, Sag. You might have a boss that's departing or somebody at the top of the food chain. So corporate restructuring or changes at the top of the food chain, changes with leadership could be coming in. And again, this could be, they're telling me, or they're reminding me this is a 2-year cycle. I know. But again, this could happen this month, or you could hear about rumblings and grumblings with regards to some changes with your company. Now, if you're not working, again, apply this to your circumstance. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? How are you being of service? What are you known for, right? Do you volunteer? Do you walk dogs? Do you paint houses? Like, something up here is changing as to what you are known for, whether you're working or not working. So parental access, parents, your changes in your parents' lives, changes to do with you as a parent. Again, we talked about the fertility stuff. So, because at the end of the day, this eclipse cycle, Sag, is really putting the focus on home, family, foundation, and really releasing something up here in your career or work house. So status, reputation, and also these eclipses are hitting all angles of your chart. So anything that happens in the 1st house, the 7th house, the 10th house, the 4th house is going to ripple out to all areas of life, Sag. So this is over the next couple years. I think multiple areas of life will shift and change for you, whether it's you, your identity, your career, your home, your living circumstances, your living situation, your place of living, or renovating the home, downsizing, upsizing, again, family, starting a family, or maybe you're going to be an empty nester, or maybe you're going to be a grandparent for the first time. You know, that could be possibilities here. Or maybe you already became a grandparent over the past couple years, and your relationships could be going through some changes, marital or otherwise. Business, who are you in bed with, Sag? Literally or metaphorically, business, friendships, lovers, contracts, agreements, negotiations. These eclipses are going to impact all angles, all areas of life, Sag. So depends on what you're watching for. If it's your son, it's your career or father figures in your life, or you as a boss, or you as an authority figure or business owner or entrepreneur. If it's your moon, it's your home, your living circumstances, changes to a mother or motherly figure or female figures in your life, or your emotional body, or even something to do with your hormones if you're a female. Also, if you're a male too, because the moon is the hormonal stuff in our bodies as well. If it's your rising sign, it's your identity. It's what you're known for, right? It's if it's your rising, it's also, again, your relationships are going to go through some changes perhaps, or you're going to be there for a partner as they go through these changes, Sag. So I know that's a lot. I rambled off and I apologize, but there's so much stuff happening this month and I'm not even covering all of it. Check the links below. I have a Venus retrograde video. I have a Mars retrograde video. Mars retrograde's over and done with, but he's still in shadow. I have a video about the brand new eclipse cycle. So Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle that's going to last for 2 years, as I mentioned, and Neptune diving into your 5th house, which is going to be huge for all the fire signs this year and the air signs for that matter. So much to talk about that I just can't talk about in these monthly videos. Check out all of that in the description box below. Only if you're interested though, because I can get it. I get it. This information is overwhelming. I feel like I just yacked too much. But anyway, Sag, it's going to be an incredible month ahead. Again, lean into that change, use your intuition, and we'll see you back here in April. Bye for now. Hey Capricorn, let's talk about this busy month ahead and the concentration of energy at the foundation of your sky, and also these eclipse cycles. We got one wrapping up this month, and we got a brand new cycle that is just getting started this month as well. So Capricorn, keep in mind, eclipse energy can manifest before these specific dates in March that we're going to talk about, or they can manifest 6 months after these dates. So if the end of the month comes and you're like, nothing happened, again, did it already happen? Did something already come down the pipe in these areas of life, or is change yet to come? And these eclipses are going to take us well into the summer months for those of us in the northern hemisphere, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, this is going to take you well into the winter months, believe it or not. So Capricorn, let's break this down. And also, I apologize, there's so much going on this month. I'm just going to focus on certain things this month. If you are curious about Neptune moving into Aries, check out my videos below. I cover off the Neptune transit. I cover off this brand new eclipse cycle. I cover off Venus retrograde and also Mars retrograde in my videos below. So I do apologize, Capricorn. I can't cover everything this month, but I'm going to do my best to ramble off as much as I can. Okay. So let's first start off with the sun. So the sun continues to trek through your third house, bringing in not only busyness, but opportunity from this third house of communication, education, teaching, training, coaching, mentoring the mind, how you digest information, technology, vehicles, how you get around, transportation, planes, trains, automobiles, short distance travel. This is third house's focus on your local environment, your local community, your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins, your relatives, your extended family members. So Capricorn, that's possibly some of your focus this month. But once the sun moves into Aries, this is a loaded house at the moment. We have a new moon eclipse here, wrapping up a 2-year cycle. We have Venus retrograde here, and we have Mercury retrograde here. So people, places, things from the past, Capricorn, will probably be coming back around, especially when I say the past. This is double whammy for you because the 4th house is literally about the past, Capricorn. So be mindful of that. We're reassessing love. We're reassessing relationships. We're reassessing money. You're reassessing your career because Venus rules your 10th house, but also your 5th house of love, dating, romance, sex, intimacy, gambling, fertility, entertainment, having a good time, Capricorn. So it's like work, life, play here, being up for some, again, reassessment and redoing or revising, revision. Anything that starts with RE is really emphasized this month, Capricorn, versus starting something new. But I got to come back to that because I'm going to drive you nuts. I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. If you watched the beginning of my video, you know what I'm going to say. Now, Mercury retrograde at the bottom of your, well, I was going to say bottom of your house. Well, yeah, this is your area of house. This is about communication, technology, vehicles, anything techie in the home specifically, paperwork, buying, selling, anything to do with property. Also, this is a parental access. So maybe this isn't about you. This is about your parents, maybe. I'm going to throw it out there. Or you as a parent, Capricorn, because again, this is such an intense focus with regards to your 4th house. So again, reassess something here. Reassess the mindset. Reassess educational pursuits or picking up old educational pursuits, you know, dusting them off and getting back at them, so to speak. But with that said, with all these conjunctions in Pisces and Aries, it's hard to ignore anything that comes new, you know, that lands on your doorstep, Capricorn. So you're really going to have to, all of us are going to have to use our intuition this month when it comes to anything new in your 3rd house that we talked about and also the 4th house. Home, family, place of living, real estate, property, buying, selling, and the past, ancestry, your parents, or you as a parent, Capricorn. So use your gut, use your intuition, because we're all kind of blinded this month by all this retrograde energy plus the eclipses. So I'm just going to put it out there. You do you though, Capricorn. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I just recommend that before you sell the farm, before you bet all your life savings, before you sell everything and go meet this virtual love partner that you just met online and they are the love of your life and they promised you everything, I would just pump the brakes on that. Because if it's real, if it's true, if it's tangible, that means it's still going to be there in May, right? Or April for that matter. So again, you do you. But I'm not here to harp or tell Capricorns out of all the signs what to do. We're all grown-ass adults here, Capricorn, regardless of age, because even if you're a young person watching this, you are, I'm going to guess, you're probably an old soul, or you've been told you are an old soul, because that's the Capricornian energy that we bring to the table. Okay, so Capricorn, all that I nattered off also about your 4th house, this is where the eclipse is. This is our final eclipse in Aries at 9 degrees. If you have anything around 9 degrees of Cap, you're going to feel this. I'm going to say 5 degrees on either side. You'll probably feel this. But this is the final one. These are the final energies that have been squaring you since 2023, but making you move, shift, and pivot in your career sector, your relationship sector, love, business, friendships, again, whoever you share a bed with, literally or metaphorically, home, place of living, your foundation, the people that you live with, and also you, Capricorn, quite literally you, your identity, what you're known for, your status, your reputation, the legacy you want to leave behind, and also maybe something to do with your kids or family, if you do have family or children, Capricorn. So this cycle is ending and a brand new cycle is beginning with the Virgo Pisces energies now coming in. So this could be a new beginning, Capricorn, on the home front, or a milestone on the home front, or something coming in on the home front. So it could be an ending or a new beginning. It is a new moon, so I'm thinking it's a new beginning, but again, we're wrapping up a 2-year cycle. So it's hard to say which way it's going to go. So I apologize for that. I can't predict eclipses and I can't predict Uranian energy. So it's just like talking about Uranus. It's like you don't know what you're going to get, right? So apply this to your personal birth chart. And again, I'm asking all the signs to lean into something new. I do encourage that because I feel like they're coming in unusual ways. And these are faded blessings, faded new beginnings, or faded endings, because we're dealing with the nodes of fate and destiny and fortune, Capricorn. So it's hard to ignore if a new beginning comes to your doorstep, quite literally, if it has something to do with property or real estate. I'd say lean into it, but again, be cautious because Mercury and Venus are retrograde. So any paperwork you sign off on, double, triple check everything with this new beginning or even ending. Even if you're selling property, I would still go slow and take it slow because there might be something that you're not seeing or the new buyers aren't seeing. And this is going to come back around once these planets go direct. So Capricorn, I'm not here to scare you. This is just what retrogrades do, right? And they're personal planet retrogrades, and it's double whammy, triple whammy in your 4th house. And this is squaring you, Capricorn. So this might work against you or it might work with you. I don't know, right? I'm sorry to say, I don't know. I would have to see your personal birth chart to see how this is going to give birth to something. Whether it's going to be challenging or like finally a release point, like, oh, finally the property sold, good riddance. Now I can move on to something new. So you see what I mean? It could go either way. And I'm not putting a negative spin on this either, Capricorn. It's a square. Squares are taking action on something. It's challenging. It can be frustrating, and it could make you speed something up, or somebody's putting pressure on you. Or you're putting pressure on yourself to change something, Capricorn. So anyway, take what resonates, leave the rest, my friends. Okay, now moving to the top of your sky where we have our first full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees at this south node. So Capricorn, if you have anything around 23 degrees, I'm going to say give or take 5 degrees on either side, you're going to feel this. And this is a trine. So this is better than that square I was talking about. But mind you, the squares they make you move, right? They make us get off our butts and do something about something. Now this trine, some of you might feel this and some of you won't because it's flowing harmonious energy. This might just be a good day. This might be the stars aligning and finally this paperwork comes through, or an educational pursuit comes through, or an opportunity comes through. But this is the south node. This is a release point, and plus it's a full moon. So I'm thinking this is like an ending, a culmination point. But again, Capricorn, it's eclipses. So it could be endings and new beginnings, or new beginnings, endings. I don't know. It just could be intertwined with a bunch of mixed bag type of energy, Capricorn. So what is the 9th house? 9th house is religion, spirituality, law, the justice system, legal matters. This is paperwork, immigration, citizenship, passports. This is all also about teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, you going back to school, or again, you becoming that mentor, teacher, coach. This is anything to do with foreign lands, foreign cultures at a distance. Okay, like long distance traveling, long distance people, places, things. This is your ethics, your belief systems. This is dealing with people all over the globe, or at least people dealing with people at a distance. And this is the area of life where you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, Capricorn. So, like I said, could be an ending or a new beginning in this area of life. I'm thinking an ending. I'm going to lean on that because all these new beginnings are pointing at your third house, where the North Node is. So that's more so where we, this is where we consume. This is where we're bringing in something new. But in order to do that, we need to make space by letting something go in that ninth area house that I just rambled off. And again, it could be just as simple as a belief system needs to change in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe you need to focus on your local community versus outside of your community. Especially if you own a business or run a business, it might be more of a local focus versus a higher, wider global focus. Maybe it's time to just pay attention to your local environment versus worrying about or being concerned about something bigger or outside of the realm of your city, town, state, place of living, whatever you want to call it. If that makes sense, Capricorn. That's just one example. So Capricorn, regardless, change coming in. Mars is still trucking along in your 7th house of partnerships, scratching around there, but at least he's moving direct. So partnerships hopefully should become more easier to deal with and manage, because I can appreciate Mars opposing your planets, placements, points. Not the easiest type of energy. And yes, sorry, going back to what are you watching for? If it's your sun sign, this is to do with your career, your status, your reputation, father figures in your life. If you are a boss, this could be impacting you as well. If it's your moon sign, this is quite literally something to do with your family, home, environment, like what we talked about. This could be the emotional body as well, Capricorn, or this could be about changes coming into mother or female figures in your life, or if you are a mother or a stay-at-home mother, could be about that as well. If it's your rising sign, Capricorn, it really could be anything. It could be something to do with your business partnerships, love partnerships, you as a person, your identity, your health and well-being, your sort of like place in the world, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, whether you're working or not. Actually, by the way, I'm going to go back to that with this heavy 4th house. Did I say this is about retirement as well? So for those of you that are retired, there's some big reassessments happening here, big revisions happening here. Or if you've retired over the past 2 years, Capricorn, again, this is the finale. So hopefully you can finally gracefully move into retirement, but there's definitely reassessments when it comes to retirement or planning for the future or planning for retirement. So I can't remember if I mentioned that or not, so forgive me if I just repeated myself. But anyway, Capricorn, if this is your rising sign, this is, again, anything to do with you, your identity, your place in the world, how you are seen. It's kind of like first impressions, how people see you and how you see the world, or at least view the world from your lens. Otherwise, Capricorn, enjoy the month ahead, lean into change, use that intuition, and we'll see you back here in April. Bye for now. Hey Aquarius, let's talk about all this energy at the foundation of your sky, or kind of at the foundation of your sky, and also the eclipse energies. Now, if you want to learn more about this brand new eclipse cycle that we're coming into, the Pisces Virgo axes, if you want to learn more about Venus retrograde, if you want to learn more about Neptune diving into your 3rd house over the next 14 years, check out my videos below, Aquarius, because I made separate videos for everything, just because I can't squeeze everything in these monthly videos. They would just be too long, and I always like giving certain aspects the spotlight, especially Neptune, or when big heavy hitters like Pluto move into new territory, because they deserve the spotlight, because these are huge life and collective themes that are coming in, Aquarius. So, but first, let's dive into where I think your focus is going to be for the month of March. And keep in mind, this month is up for, this is like a wild card energy coming in. We got the eclipses, we got all these conjunctions coming in, Aquarius. So forgive me, I might be scattered. I may be talking about one thing and another thing and another thing. It's just, there's just so much to talk about. So I'll try to stay on point as best as I can. So the sun continues its trek through your second house of Pisces, which is work, how you earn a living, money. What is your relationship to your savings account? Do you even have a savings account, Aquarius? Or maybe you're retired. So how does money find its way to you, basically? This is kind of like streams of income. Like, how does money flow into your pockets, into your bank account, Aquarius? This is also about your material possessions and also your value systems as well. So the sun is illuminating this area of life. And again, Neptune is wrapping up a very long stay. Neptune's been in here since 2011, 2012. So Neptune is wrapping up a larger cycle in a financial house and moving into your third house this month, and will be in your third house for most of 2025. And then he comes back to your second house for a few months, and then he's out. So actually, this might be a blessing. Neptune in the second house, I can appreciate, can be challenging and difficult. Money coming in, money going out, money coming in, money going out. You're going to hear me say that in my Neptune video if you are interested in checking that out. Anyway, Aquarius, so that's going to be some of your focus this month. Now, once the sun joins this party here that's happening in your third house, keep in mind you also have an eclipse here. So there could be some change, some new begin. I'm thinking it's a new beginning, but it might not be a new beginning. It might be about wrapping up a larger cycle, Aquarius, that's been happening since 2023, when the nodes of the moon shifted into Aries and Libra for you. So this third house is a very busy house, a very communicative house, Aquarius. You know, not only about community, but also communication and technology and your place of living and your neighborhood. And this is the mind, more so the lower mind, educational pursuits, skills, talents, abilities that we utilize in our job, in our day-to-day. So again, apply this to your life if you're working or not working. This is also the house of transportation, how it is that you get around. So planes, trains, automobiles, your personal vehicle. This is the house of siblings. So they might have been going through some changes, Aquarius, the last several years as well. If you do have siblings, this could also be about cousins, neighbors, neighborhoods, and relatives and extended family members. They could have been going through some changes. Who knows, Aquarius? Did you move to a new neighborhood? Did you move down the street? Or did you stay where you are and you got all new neighbors or something along those lines over the past couple years? Third house is also about social media and the internet and short distance trips and traveling. And as I mentioned, anything to do with techie, like technology stuff. Now, with that said, Mercury retrograde is in here, and Mercury rules the third house. And Venus is in here too, where, you know, Venus in a sign is not bad. Wherever she goes, she attracts in love, money, beauty, blessings, and harmony, usually from other people, or what I just rattled off there, benefits coming in from these groups of people or these situations, or benefits coming to you, Aquarius, through your community somehow. But she's retrograde, Mercury's retrograde. This is like double, triple whammy for you, Aquarius, on the tech front. So forgive me, I'm going to lecture you a little bit about this. I mean, if you need to buy a vehicle, you need to buy a vehicle. With an eclipse here, Mercury in here, this could be finally, you know, you're being pushed, shoved, nudged to trade in that vehicle, get rid of that vehicle, and buy something more reliable. Could be a new bike, again, however it is that you get around, Aquarius. Anything techie or with a computer or anything to do with like chips or technology or lights or machinery, I would say go slow, like take it slow. New relationships, all this retrograde energy, this is people, places, things coming back from the past, Aquarius. This could make your head spin because this is a lot of people, places, things, right? That I just rambled off. But I know I'm going to annoy you here. We have a lot of new energy coming in with all these conjunctions that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, right? So new beginnings in the Piscean and this third Aries house for you, Aquarius. So I apologize if I'm confusing you, but that's how the energy is this month. It's kind of like put on the brakes, go slow, but eclipses are here, and eclipses could bring in super fast action, change, people coming out, people coming in, places going out, places coming in, rapid change. And then on top of it, we have these new beginnings or these seeds being planted this month. So it's a mixed bag, Aquarius. Like I'm encouraging all the signs to lean into this. You know, at the end of the day, these could be new beginnings in disguise, blessings in disguise. They could have a rough start or a bumpy start, or suddenly something gets taken out of your life, but something new is coming in and you're like, oh my God, thank goodness. And maybe this already happened, Aquarius. Eclipses aren't really about the day. It's about 2 months before the date of the eclipse and 6 months after the date of the eclipses. So just keep that in mind in case you're saying, well, nothing happened to me in the month of March. Well, give it some time. Maybe it already happened. Did something already happen for you in December, January, February? Or is something like this energy takes us all the way to the summer months in the Northern Hemisphere and in the winter months in the Southern Hemisphere. So again, it could go either way, Aquarius. Time is fluid. You out of all signs should probably know that, right? You are the sign of the future and technology after all. So use your intuition. Use your intuition. It is what it is. If you got to do any launches or sign on the dotted line this month, do the best you can. That's all you can do. That's all we can do, right? And we'll clean up things later on down the road. I would just recommend don't bet the farm. Don't sell everything off and meet the love of your life that you met on the computer and you haven't even met them. You were just chatting and you're like, oh my God, this person's going to take care of me, so I'm going to move across the planet. And you move across the planet, you get there and they don't exist and your bank account's drained, right? Yeah, catfish energy is with us this month. And I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but it's there, Aquarius. I have to say it. I have to warn you. You know, I'd feel horrible if I'm not giving any of you some ideas and some tips as to what could be happening this month, right? It's a mixed bag. I cannot stress that enough, Aquarius. Anyway, eclipse here, the bottom of your sky, wrapping up a 2-year cycle. Again, I think this is a new beginning for you in your third house, bringing in opportunities into your Aquarius placements. So if you have anything around 9 degrees of Aquarius, this could be bringing in a new beginning from that third house that we talked about. If it's your sun sign, it's your career or father-like figures in your life, or your status, your reputation, your health and vitality. If it's your rising sign, it could have something to do with a relationship, either in business or in love, or a contract, agreement, negotiation, or something to do with a marital relationship or a marital agreement, Aquarius. And if it's also if it's your rising, this is about you, your identity, your place on the planet. You know, what do you identify with if you're working or not working? It's your projections onto the planet, onto the world, onto people, places, things. It's first impressions that you give off to other people. It's the lenses, the glasses we wear. That's the rising sign. And if it's your moon sign, this is about home, family, foundation, your place of living, or female figures in your life, mom, again, dad, whoever. So it depends on what you are watching for. Now that's like I mentioned, the new moon eclipse in Aries that's bringing you in some final opportunities or change coming in from this third house. Now the other eclipse that I mentioned, this one's not making a direct aspect to you, but it is highlighting your financial axes. Now This energy is with us for 2 years now. This brand new eclipse cycle where the eclipses will be lying over the next, well, actually well into 2027. Even these eclipses will be lingering for us. So we have our first full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees. Again, not making an aspect to you directly, but this is where your personal birth chart comes in. Now I'm thinking, Aquarius, this is kind of like a purge, a release point, an ending, a culmination, closing one chapter, moving into something else. But again, it's an eclipse. So I don't know, it could be a new beginning, it could be an ending, it could be both. Could be a mixed bag. Who knows? That's the epitome of this month ahead, Aquarius. So let's talk about the 8th house. It's deep psychological matters or deep psychological change. This could be the subconscious suddenly becoming conscious again. And the reason why it's coming up is for you to acknowledge it, heal it, and let it go once and for all, because you don't want to carry this energy with you, especially when the nodes of fate move into your sign in 2026. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. But that's what they're saying, is it's really important for you this cycle, Aquarius, to let go of the garbage, let go of past trauma, fear, power, control issues. Let them go, release them, past connections to love relationships. This is a house of intimacy after all, so sexual partners. Let that shit go, that you're not connected to those people anymore, people, places, things. It's about disconnecting from that. So when the nodes of fate move into your energy, it's kind of like you're taking out the trash, you're cleaning yourself up and out, Aquarius. But otherwise, 8th house is also big life changes, big life shifts and pivots. It's the house of death and rebirth and transformation. I'm not saying you're going to die, by the way, but metaphorically speaking, something needs to be let go of so you can bring in something new in that 2nd house. 8th house, Aquarius, is also about, I have a brain fart here. Taxes, debts, loans. There we go. Shared resources, shared property, shared finances that you have with another person. So again, who do you share a bed with? Literally or metaphorically, who are you in bed with when it comes to business or in love? Aquarius, that's also the 8th house. And again, this is something about letting go. This is also property, inheritance, wills, like drawing up a will or dealing with helping your parents with wills or talking about wills. This is also the house of, as I mentioned, deep intimacy, sexuality, sex, and fear, power, and control. So as you can see, Aquarius, kind of a heavy house, but the good thing is you're letting something go. Maybe you're letting go of a debt. You could be also accumulating more debt because the north node is in your 2nd house of material possessions. This is where we consume more, but we have to let something go at that 8th house endpoint. Otherwise, you can't keep consuming without letting something go, Aquarius. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself here. This is a 2-year cycle, but we are having an eclipse here this month. So something could shift and change this month for you, Aquarius, in that 8th house. Otherwise, that's all I'm going to talk about for now. Like I mentioned, if you want to check out more videos below, if you want to learn more about, again, the Venus retrograde, Neptune moving into Aries, and the new eclipse cycle, check out my videos below, Aquarius. Otherwise, lean into change this month, use that intuition, and that's all we can do to pivot and move around these eclipses. Otherwise, I think it's going to be an exciting month ahead, lots of possible change coming in, and we'll see you back here in April. Bye for now. Hey Pisces, happy birthday if you are celebrating a birthday this month, Pisces. And what a birthday season to start off with. So if you do have a birthday this month, you're going to have this eclipse energy snapshot, if that makes sense, like placed into your solar chart. This is like a snapshot in time is what I'm trying to get at. There we go. So you'll have this for the entire year ahead, Pisces. Nothing to be scared of, but eclipses in the solar chart for the year ahead just means that you'll have an extra oomph of change versus all of the other signs that don't have this eclipse energy around your birthday. So Pisces, and again, not a bad thing. I want to stress that, not a bad thing. Change is not a bad thing. It depends on how you look at change, right? So anyway, Pisces, big month ahead. Neptune moving out of your sign, and Saturn will be following very shortly here, and I'll make separate videos about that. Check out my Neptune diving into Aries video in the description box below. Unfortunately, I won't have time to cover off everything in these monthly videos, so check that out if you're curious as to what Neptune might bring to the table for you for 14 years in your second house. And he's been in your first house since 2011, 2012, Pisces. So very exciting news. And on top of that, we got eclipses this month, more change coming in. And we have all this, you know, the nodes of fate are in your sign. The North Node is there. So this is all about, again, new beginnings. And you have all these conjunctions happening at the final degrees of your energy and the beginning degrees of Aries energy, your second house. So that's what I'm going to focus on this month. Like I said, if you want to learn more about the eclipses, if you want to learn about Venus retrograde or Mars retrograde, check out my videos below. Mars is direct, but he's still in shadow. And this is a bigger cycle that he's been speaking to us with since October of 2024. So it's a larger cycle that's wrapping up for him as well. So Pisces, the sun still being in your first house this month and lighting up you, lighting up your health, your vitality, or putting a spotlight on these things as well. And this is about maybe your identity or changing the identity or any area of life, because the sun touching the first house could energize your career, could energize your relationship sector, love or business, your home life, or quite you literally, Pisces. Now, once the sun moves into your second house, this is, you know, look at all that activity in your Aries house. We have a new moon eclipse here this month. We have Venus in here. We have Mercury in here, which is beautiful energy. And then we have the sun energizing this second house. So what is the second house? It's all about money, work, finances, how you earn a living. This is your relationship to your savings account or relationship to money in general, your value systems, how you earn a living, material possessions, more so what you own. But this month with the eclipse, it could also be about shared resources and shared assets. If you do have, if you do play house with somebody or have some sort of love commitment or business commitment or partnership with someone. And this is anything to do with what you own or what you, again, value, your value system. So Pisces, something could be up for some change. Definitely review and revision here with Mercury retrograde here, with Venus retrograde here. There's something you're reassessing or redoing. Anything that starts with an R and an E is what you want to lean into this month when it comes to the second house, but also you, especially if you have anything around the late degrees of Pisces, because this is where Venus and Mercury are going to closely be backing into your sign at the end of the month. So this retrograde is very special for you and Aries, Pisces. So, and especially if you have anything at the late degrees, this is going to add an additional layer. So if it's your moon sign, this is something to do with home, family, foundation. If it's your sun sign, this is something to do with your career, your status, your vitality, your reputation, or if you're not working, whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. Also father figures in your life, father or mother figures in your life. It could be something to do with them. If it's your rising sign, this is quite literally you. This is the physical body. This is your health and vitality. It's how you project yourself onto the world, Pisces, what you're known for. Could be career status, or again, if you're not working, apply this to your circumstances. What are you known for? Are you a dog walker? Do you paint homes? Do you cut the lawn? Like what do you do to earn money? How money flows to you into your pockets? How do you pay your taxes, your debts, your loans, you know, things like that, Pisces. And if this is your rising, this is also might impact your partnerships or relationships, love, business, friends, Friendships, contracts, agreements, negotiations, Pisces. So this is where it comes down to your personal birth chart and what do you have at the final degrees of Pisces where all these conjunctions are taking place. So hopefully you watched the beginning of the video. I touched on that. We have all these new beginnings happening this month. So rare, extremely rare. Plus on top of it, we have 2 eclipse cycles. One's wrapping up this month and one is just getting started. And then on top of it, we have Neptune moving into new territory. And on top of it, we have Venus and Mercury retrograde. So these are just blessings in disguise coming in. I am encouraging all the signs to lean into anything new or at least explore it. Get curious because you just never know what or where they're going to take you or why they're coming in. You know, explore the why. Like I encourage you to get curious, Pisces. Now, I'm going to say it. I'm going to sound like an old mother hen here, but don't bet the farm. Don't sell everything off. Maybe not the best month to loan that friend or invest in a company and you're spending like $100,000. But again, if you have the money, if you have the cash, you do you. I'm just using examples, Pisces. Like, I wouldn't pack up shop and, you know, you just met somebody on the internet. You didn't physically see them. You haven't physically seen them. You've given them a whole bunch of money and you're like, yeah, this person's going to take care of me. I'm going to sell everything and I'm going to move across the planet and be with my invisible partner. And then you get there and they don't exist. And then you're broke and you have nothing in your bank account. And then you're in a foreign land, foreign country. And you're like, oh my God. So Pisces, I know some of you probably think that's ridiculous, but the energy is there, especially for you. This is hitting a financial house. Double, triple whammy. You got an eclipse there. You got Venus retrograde. You got Mercury retrograde. So, you know, you do you, Pisces. Like you are the intuitive sign. You are the epitome of psychic energy. So just lean into your intuition this month because we're all kind of blinded a bit by Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and these eclipses. We don't really know if we're coming or going or where our feet are or if we're even on the ground. We got to just lean into our gut with this type of energy, Pisces. So you do you. I just wanted to throw it out there as an example. But there's some change coming in here. And again, there's a bigger cycle wrapping up that started back in 2023. You know, and this is the cycle that's finally wrapping up. It could be a new beginning. I think it's a new beginning. For those of you that are looking for a new job, it could be full on this month. Or if you're looking for a new career, new job, I'd say brush up that resume and you can start sending your resume out there because you just never know. Again, with all these conjunctions, it's hard to ignore these new beginnings that could be coming to your doorstep this month, Pisces. So that is the second house energy and where I think a new beginning could start. But again, it could be an ending or a new beginning, Pisces. It really could go either way because it's eclipse energy, right? So it's kind of like expect the unexpected. Now, this other one is a brand new total lunar eclipse in Virgo. This is the first one we're having in the Virgo Pisces axes. Now, we had a Pisces eclipse back in September of 2024. So think back to that time period. Did anything come in? Did anything change? Did anything shuffle? So I think that was around 25 degrees of Pisces on or around September 17th. Now we're having a full moon in your opposite sign, but it's still shining a spotlight on you, Pisces. So full moons illuminate both areas of life because it's like shining a flashlight. Now this could be an ending, a culmination point. That's what I'm thinking it could be because it's at the south node where you need to purge and let go of something, Pisces. But it's also a full moon, which is an ending, a culmination point, or just one chapter is done and now you're on to chapter 2, for example. Or maybe you are taking a relationship to the next level, Pisces, as well around this full moon. So full moon around the 14th of March. I have the dates here on the slide if you want to take a screenshot. And then that new moon in Aries is happening on or around the 29th, depending on where you are on the planet. So this full moon, this is going to highlight anything to do with contracts, agreements, negotiations, legal matters, marital matters, again, love, business, friendship. You apply this to your circumstance, Pisces. And again, this is highlighting you. This is just shining a spotlight back on you. So if you have your sun, your moon, your rising around 23 degrees of Pisces, you're going to feel this eclipse, I'm thinking. But again, this tells me you're not seeing something clear, right? So that's why I know I'm repeating myself. It's just kind of like you're not seeing someone or something or a person, place, or thing for who they truly are. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Plus Venus retrograde. This is people, places, things coming back from the past. Old partnerships, old contracts, old agreements, negotiations, whatever the case may be. There's just something that you can't quite put your finger on, Pisces. So go slow, take it slow, double, triple check everything. If you got to launch something this month, you got to launch it. You know, you'll just do readjustments later on down the road. It's not the end of the world. But like I said, if anyone's trying to force you or push you into something, that should be your red flag. That should be your, okay, ask the person, can I think about this? Can I sleep on this? Can I take it back with me and get back to you in 24 hours? And if they react, there's your answer, Pisces. So that Piscean antenna is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as, again, tune into their cues if you're dealing with a person or a business partnership or work or something like that. Pisces, again, apply this to your circumstance because this could really bleed out to any area of life at the end of the day, because eclipses really do ripple out to all areas of life. And this is happening in a big angular house, Pisces. So this could be something to do with home, your living circumstances, your living situation, your place of living, maybe buying, selling real estate or property, or your career. So again, apply this to whatever you're going through this month. I'm still encouraging you, though, to lean in. You just never know. This could be a blessing in disguise, Pisces. So let's see here. Yeah, did I mention this? Yeah, so if you're watching for, yeah, I think I went through that, right? Yeah, your sun, this is about your career, your moon, the emotional body, the home, your rising sign, this could be anything to do with you. Quite literally anything to do with you or your partnerships or your relationships, Pisces. So regardless, change could be coming down the pipe, endings and new beginnings, vice versa. Exciting month ahead. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure a lot of other people are looking forward to this change as well. And a big milestone again this month with Neptune moving out of your sign. Saturn's going to be right behind it. Super exciting year to be alive, Pisces. And again, I want to wish you a wonderful birthday season ahead if you are celebrating this month. And yeah, I think that's about it. Again, check out my videos below if you're curious to learn a little bit more about these retrogrades, these new eclipse cycles, and Neptune. And I'm going to release more videos throughout the next 3 months or so. Saturn, Uranus, and who am I missing? Jupiter. I've already made separate videos about those changing signs, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, enjoy the month ahead, Pisces, and we'll see you back here in April. Bye for now.